If you're looking for fantasy football advice to help you win in your league, you're in the right place. It's Fantasy Endgame. We're here to give you some personalized fantasy football advice, answer your questions, let you know what is going on ahead of week 2 because it has already begun and it's about to get real in 24 hours with another full day of football. So let's break down what is what. First of all, you want to know about the injuries and who is actually playing, who isn't. You know, there's some big news. And let's do first the one that you're probably sweating already. Not that you needed more reasons to sweat the tight end position. It's like, look, you can never predict injuries, right? We can't do that. But this is partly one of the reasons why we're like, you don't need to go tight end, elite tight end early, because now you're like, oh no, what have I done? I waited on my wide receiver 2 or my running back 1, and I got that elite tight end, and now they're out. So you already know George Kittle is out on IR. He is out. What is the deal with Brock Bowers? Because he was like, yeah, no big deal. I'm fine, and he's not fine.
No, it doesn't sound like he's fine. He hasn't practiced yet, though. Although, remember, they play Monday. So yesterday was technically their Thursday. Today is their Friday. So today is when we will actually know, or at least have a better idea. If he doesn't practice today, then you probably want to go have a backup plan. I mean, you should have a backup plan anyways if you have Brock Bowers right now. Like, you should not wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
But I would say right now, again, like missing 2 practices isn't great. I'd probably put his chances at less than 50%. I will say this. I know you're not like Michael Mayer, maybe not your favorite choice here. But if you really are like, I'm going to push it to the last second, if this thing loads, Michael Mayer, even with Brock Bowers, running 23 routes, still ran 16 routes. He had 4 targets. He had a 0.25 target per route run rate. I mean, Jacoby was at 0.28. I think Michael Myers. Here we come, Michael Myers. I think Michael Mayer is fine if you really, really, really want to push it.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, if Bowers plays, I want to play him. He was my 2nd round pick, which, yeah, I don't know if Michael Myers is going to slay it necessarily, but I couldn't resist. Look, we have to remember, we were shocked. When I say we, like everybody, like the collective NFL fantasy community, we were kind of shocked that they took Brock Bowers because they had just taken Michael Mayer early. He was one of the best tight end prospects from his draft class, right? He was supposed to be the guy. And they're like, that's the last thing you needed was tight end. But they did it. And yeah, they could both thrive. I will say this. I feel better after seeing the Raiders throw the ball so much under Chip Kelly in week 1. This is a different offense, obviously, because they actually have a legit quarterback this year too. So I think he's serviceable. But I will say this. All these other options that could be available now, if Kyle Pitts is out there, I'm going Kyle Pitts over Michael Mayer every time. If Juwan Johnson's out there, I think I would still prefer Juwan Johnson. And I know you've been talking about his target share and how this could be it for him because they're going to throw the ball a lot more than, we thought they would. It kind of gets fringy then when you're at the others, like, are you going to trust Harold Fannin starting for you as opposed to Michael Mayer? There's still 2 tight ends in Cleveland, so that's a little different. But this is why we do the question.
Assuming, like, if you waited till this point, Kyle Pitts, Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson probably aren't available anymore. I mean, unless, if you're in like a shallow league, they might be. But if you're in any kind of like normal size league, especially we got Kittle out, we got Goddard out. People know Brock Bowers dealing with injury, right? Like, we had some, tight ends that didn't perform last week. Like, chances are if you've waited this long, you probably can't get those guys. If you can, definitely get them. I'm just saying, like, if you're like, I want to wait till the last second, I don't think Michael Mayer will be that bad this week.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense. This is where it depends on who's out there. But again, this is why we do the questions. You can ask us, Mayer or this guy, what do I do? That's why we do it. So you mentioned Goddard. So also we weren't sure. Sounds like Goddard isn't going to play here. And also teammate Will Shipley, that rib injury in this partially explains why they got Tank Bigsby, because Shipley is hurt. We know George Kittle. And then we did talk quite a bit about Brock Purdy in the midweek streams. We already know Brock Purdy, not just this week, possibly beyond. Not exactly what San Francisco fans wanted, but here we are in week 2. At least CMC's still out there. At least he's still playing for now. There was a lot of talk and hype and film of Xavier Worthy being on the practice field. Didn't buy into it. He's doubtful. There's no way. If it's actually a dislocated
they
shoulder.
just ruled him out like an hour ago, so he's out.
Oh, he's officially out. All right.
He's officially out.
Doubtful. Yeah. There's no way. And this is why, again, hate to say this is why we do this Saturday and also right before the game Sunday. A lot of misinformation out there, but also, like, think about the Brock Bowers thing. What we saw and what everyone was saying, not that the Twitter doctors or analysts always get it right, but this looked like something that could keep him out like a week or two. But we took his word where he was like, no, it's not a big deal. I'm going to play. That's not, what we were basically assuming that it would be fine because he said so, but he's not
right.
Medical professional. So you can't go off of what people say. In other words, and Xavier Worthy being at practice, it didn't matter. He's not physically capable of playing yet. Also, Jalen Royals, rookie receiver for the Chiefs, not yet ready to debut, so that shouldn't matter. Jalen Wright for the Dolphins is still doubtful. We know he's kind of week to week. Don't sweat that. This is kind of a big deal, even though you're not hopefully playing in a league with offensive linemen. Andrew Thomas, this matters. It doesn't sound like he's back. Why does this matter?
Well, this matters because we saw last week without Andrew Thomas, that offensive line could not block. And look, you can't say, well, it was Commanders, because I didn't see him putting a lot of pressure on Jordan Love on Thursday night. I mean, they got to him a few times, but it wasn't like Jordan Love was back there running for his life. Jordan Love had plenty of time. That was not a good Commanders defensive line. I know this isn't a great Dallas defensive line, but they actually got a pretty decent pressure rate on Jalen Hurts in week 1. And we saw without Andrew Thomas, that Giants offensive line was horrendous. Couldn't block anybody. Couldn't do anything. So it's probably going to be horrendous again this week. So good luck and Godspeed if you're starting any Giants player not named Malik Neighbors.
Right. And we've even had questions. Do I start Malik Neighbors? I think you still have to start Malik Neighbors just because of the insane target share. I think he'll do better. But nobody else. Yeah. Especially like Tyron Tracy. I was big on Tyron Tracy. Not yet. No.
Not yet. Maybe not.
This is also, speaking of it, I know this is not an injury that is going to make your decisions for week 2 because it's too late. But Thursday, and we have to talk Austin Eckler. I mean, brutal. Austin Eckler out now for the season. Even before that, we said no, basically almost across the board, I think, to Bill. And there's a reason why we did. Because even with basically the backfield to himself there, he couldn't do anything against that Packers front. I think, can we just say now the Packers are just an elite defense?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Parsons still isn't even playing like normal. He's only really still playing on third down, obvious passing downs mostly. So once he gets fully healthy and ramped up, yeah, I think we have to move the Packers. Like, Packers has to be one of those defenses we think like, are we really sure we want to start this guy?
Yeah. I honestly got to think twice. And it's impressive. They're doing this. They don't have, I think what you would call a clear shutdown corner, but that pass rush is pretty good. And so, it's going to be a tough opposition there. So matchup matters. Matchup still matters. Definitely matters here. And I believe I see the name Darren Waller. Darren Waller out possibly for the rest of his career again. Like
Darren Waller, man, like what a I mean, that dude won the lottery. He's getting paid to literally do nothing. He's like smart move. He's like, hey, I know 2 years ago I said I'm over football. I don't want to do football anymore. But if some team's willing to pay me, I'll take it. And the Miami Dolphins are like, here you go.
Of course, it was the Miami Dolphins. Yes, it was. You know what? Maybe he was all fired up and he was ready to go. And after he saw what happened in week 1, he's like, all right, Peace out. I'm good. I hope that money's not guaranteed. I don't want to go back and check. Okay. Questionable tag here. Some players not sure about. Let's start with Quinshon Judkins. Is it possible he debuts?
I think it's very possible he debuts. Now, of course, the question is how much are we going to see of Quinshon Judkins? Remember, this guy had no camp, just started practicing this week. Very likely to be limited this week. Don't rush out to put Judkins in your lineup yet.
Yeah, and there's still the matter, which doesn't seem like it'll get resolved before tomorrow, but could be a suspension coming. It's not just over with, right? He still could face something, but
I mean, it actually sounds. I mean, he could, but it actually sounds like he may not. I don't know. We'll see. So, but again, I think too soon to start, man. Plus, it's the Ravens. I don't want to start against the Ravens.
Yeah. This is stash. That's it. Like, come on, you've got to have better options at running back back in week 2. And then let's see, Juwan Jennings. I'm not going to play him even if he plays, but what's the word here?
Yeah, it doesn't say. I mean, he hasn't practiced. It hasn't practiced the entire week. It sounds like it's going to be Ricky Pearsall and Kendrick Bourne. Apparently, he's back.
Right. Current Kendrick Bourne is back. I guess Sky Moore wasn't enough. Didn't cut it for them.
Nah, he's just basically their punt kick returner. Yeah.
Oh boy, San Francisco, fun. Wan'Dale Robinson is questionable. This reinforces what we said about the Giants. Christian Kirk, don't think he makes it back, and even so, don't worry about it. And Mason Taylor, unfortunately, he's also got an injury. I was actually going to put him on the stash video, the beat the breakout, but then this popped up. I'm like, okay, too soon. At some point, he'll emerge, just not yet. Good news, basically for Atlanta, Drake London and Darnell Mooney are both going to play. London, obviously, was nothing serious. That's a huge bullet dodge. And then Mooney is going to debut. So you could fire him up. It's not a bad matchup. It's okay, right? Against the Vikings. I think he's going to be like in the flex tier, maybe.
Yeah, probably like lower end flex tier. But look, one thing about Penix Jr. is he'll send it deep, right? He's not one of these guys who's like a little dink and dunker. So you could if you're desperate.
Yeah, he'll send it deep, but also he throws it outside a lot. He likes to throw it to his outside receivers, and that's good because they don't really have a lot of depth. I did mention Casey Washington in one video, but he's in the concussion protocol, so he actually might not play, which just basically means Mooney might be on the field a whole lot in his first game of the season. So there you go. And then for what it's worth, Rashawn Johnson is going to play. So maybe don't start Kamlin and Guy. All right, that's the injury update for today. Tomorrow, we'll have some more updated updates and hopefully some more clarity on Brock Bowers. We'll see. And, we do have a lot of questions we're going to get to here. But first, I do have to remind you of a couple things. Don't forget about Underdog. Sign up for Underdog right now for the first time. If you haven't already, you get a gimme pick. They're going to give you a pick where it's basically get a yard, you win. That's a gimme. Take it. You get this pick if you are brand new signing up on Underdog for the first time. But you got to use code ENDGAME when you sign up because you get this. You also get the fact that you up to $1,000 bonus cash in your account when you first make your deposit using code ENDGAME, plus a special pick, plus the gimme pick. And they're still doing this, even more money. Get $50 in bonus funds just for playing $5. So if you made your account, you get a free pick, you get some bonus cash, and then you're like, okay, let me use my cash, and then you get more bonus cash, $50. It's a lot of bonus cash. So go ahead and do it. Sign up, use code ENDGAME to get all of these freebies. And now I have to tell you about DraftLane. Most of you know about DraftLane. Some of you don't because we always get new viewers, especially on the weekend. So big shout out. I already see some questions from some new viewers. Glad you all are here. Before we get to your questions, to remind you that you can always ask your questions here on the live streams, but 24/7, we're doing questions on DraftLane. Okay, so DraftLane is our app, and we have fantasy leagues on there. We also have this feature. You can ask your questions. All right, so look, we just got one. Let's do this. Why don't we do it?
Do it.
Fantasyland just asked a question. And by the way, I just talked about promo codes and points. This is with points. This one was a freebie because if you're new on Draft Lane, you just signed up for the first time, you download Draft Lane, of course, on either App Store, Play Store. We'll put the QR codes up there in a minute so you can know how to get Draft Lane. But you can also, for the very first time, you're syncing your leagues with Draft Lane.
Go back to there.
Is it down there?
They click the little left, the arrow at the top left. There you go.
Oh, I was like, where'd it go? You can use promo code. You'll never guess what it is. You'll never guess. It's Endgame. Use promo code Endgame, and you get 10 free credits to use right here, right now. And that's going to get you basically free questions. So here we go. Fantasyland, use the points, asking the question. Half PPR. One supposed to set this lineup, it looks like. Okay. So you can do start sit. We have start sit. We have waiver wire. We have trade, or just ask a question. But this is basically start sit. Baker or Dak?
You got to go. Ooh, I think you still got to go Baker. I do like Goff this week, but I think you still got to go Baker, right?
This is. Oh, I didn't see Goff. I saw Dak and Baker. And Goff, you know what? I'm going to go Goff here. I don't think Baker's going to have a big game. Like, he's still pretty safe, but I think the Lions are going to pour it on, honestly. I think the Lions are going to have that get right game. So it's between them. Goff or Baker? You wanted to say?
I just have no reason to bench Baker, but I guess Goff's fine. I mean, I don't dislike Goff this week.
Here we go. This is what we do on the live stream, right?
There we go.
I don't know.
Running back, you got to go Brees and Kyron.
Yeah. Wide receiver, not Tyreek. Wow.
Wide receiver.
3 receivers?
But, I mean, who else are we going to start here?
It's Olave or Tyreek, basically.
I'll still go Tyreek. I mean, he at least has upside. What is Olave's upside? There's no flex, apparently.
Flex. Well,
yeah, tight end Laporta for sure. Oh, there is a flex. It's half PPR. I'd probably go Monty.
Yeah,
good matchup for Monty this week.
Go Monty. Barely want to start Tyreek or Olave. And then it says defense ? I mean, we don't know who he could get. So,
I mean, I guess for streamers, I like the Cowboys this week.
Or who else might be available?
Let me see. Who are some low roster defenses?
Could go
in my one
Rams
defense?
Against the Titans, possibly. A lot of sacks. Patriots against the Dolphins, of course.
Yeah, Patriots against the Dolphins.
I assume San Francisco is already owned.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too long on defense. Let's say Dallas, New England, or
Rams.
Yeah. All right. There we go. And just like that, the question has been answered. Remember, you can use this anytime. Make sure also, as it says there, if you already had Draft Lane from last year, from the summer, whenever, make sure you got the latest version, right? We're constantly working on this, trying to tweak it and update it and fix all any issues that pop up. And so tell us if there's anything that happens here as well. Go to the Draft Lane support channel on Discord, but make sure you got the latest version here. All right. Looks like we're good.
Let's do it. Oh, yeah, let me
go.
put the.
So there you go. You got the way to download it right there. If you haven't tried Draft Lane, App Store or Google Play Store, both fully supported. And you can get the latest version if you haven't already. Or you can go to draftlane.com just to learn more. Free download. All right, syncs with your Yahoo and your sleeper leagues. You guys already have some questions on here. We're going to get to your questions. Don't worry. We're going to do as many as we possibly can over the next couple of hours. If you already have that YouTube membership, we'll do your questions. If you super chat, that skips you to the front of the line. But let's do Michael. He was first. This was 7:30 p.m. last night. Is that what I'm seeing? All right.
Probably.
Okay, so let's talk Bill real quick here.
All right. So this is interesting because I've already thought, I was already thinking I'm probably going to put Bill on the buy low. Because obviously Eckler, we know he's out for the season, unfortunately, with that Achilles injury. We did see, if you watched the game, which I did, I'm sure a lot of you did, hopefully, even though it wasn't the most exciting game. After Eckler went out, it was Jeremy McNichols that took on the Eckler role. But also, remember, the Commanders were in come from behind mode. They weren't going to run the football.
Yeah.
So I do think McNichols takes on the Eckler role, but I think probably a lessened Eckler role. You know, one thing that was really surprising to me and cost me my underdog bet because I took Krosky Merritt higher than 9.5 carries because I thought, hey, you know, I don't expect Krosky Merritt to have a big day, but I could see them giving him 12 to 15 carries in this game. Early in the game, it was all Eckler. Eckler early in the game. And I'm like, oh, I don't think this line's gonna make it today. So that lost me my slip, unfortunately. But now that Eckler's gone, do they really trust Jeremy McNichols? I mean, maybe they activate Chris Rodriguez now, maybe. And maybe he gets more carries, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll probably activate him now, but he profiles more like Bill than Eckler. McNichols profiles more like Eckler than Rodriguez. So I do think we're going to start to see more Bill now earlier on in the game, maybe starting the game, not sitting on the bench for 2 drives before he finally gets out there. So I think I'm going to put him on the buy low. I think Olave's fine. I think this is a fine buy low if you want to take a chance here because what's really the ceiling for Olave?
Oh, yeah. Now I think this is a good move. It's funny because I thought that is this seems we said no to Bill almost every time somebody asked, for week 2, start sit. We said no, and you saw why. And I thought, okay, this is gonna be a perfect chance, right? Buy low on him after this game. But then in the Eckler news, I was like, okay, well now everybody's gonna be all in on him, right? We know first B-Rob gets traded. It's predestined, right? This is the coming of Bill.
Yeah.
B-Rob gets traded. Rodriguez is a scratch. Eckler's done for the year. It's now everyone's going to go crazy. But you're right. I think some people will just look at the stats and say they're just not giving him the ball. They have to now.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have to. They could just give it to Chris Rodriguez. All right, Sam Piazza. How's it going? Flex, Booty or Ridley?
I do like Booty this week, but not over Ridley. This is a much better spot for Calvin Ridley. Yes, the Rams will probably get some pressure on Cam Ward, but their secondary is awful. They have no good corners. This is a good spot for Ridley. And look, Cam Ward, I know you look at the stats and you think, it wasn't a good first game. But if you watch that game, and I watched a lot of it, Cam Ward made some good throws under pressure, facing a tough defense. And Pat Surtain did not allow a single reception in coverage, like we said. Hey, you can't. There's nobody on the Rams that are going to just allow 0 receptions in coverage unless they only get 1 target. And it's you know what I mean? And it's oh, okay. I had 1 target against him and he, it went incomplete. Good job. I can't put Booty over Ridley. I can't do it.
No, he should be fine this week. But if Ridley doesn't come up with a good stat line, he's definitely going to be a buy low, right? This team's going to get better as the season goes on. It's going to take time, but yeah, I agree with that. And then Juwan Johnson or Michael Mayer. Here's that dilemma.
Well, I will say if Brock Bowers doesn't practice today, then I probably just go ahead and roll with Juwan Johnson. But if there's any hope that Brock Bowers can play, let's say he practices today, right? A limited practice or something, I'd probably just wait.
There you go. So let's hang on and see what happens. Yeah, we did not want to be here in week 2 already, with these players, but fantasy football. All right, and we got Henry Gwynn. Started Warren Overcraft. Well, that's not the worst thing. Okay. Please tell me everything will work out. Well, look, everything's working out in the fact that you now have 2 really good tight ends, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, is Warren going to outscore Kraft this week? Probably not. Is any tight end going to outscore Kraft this week? Probably not. Like that's a huge game for any player, let alone a tight end. What are you going to do? I mean, yeah, like last week Warren outscored Kraft by a lot. Like, I mean, it's fantasy football. I don't think Warren's going to be bad this week. I don't think like Warren's going to kill you. So, yeah, I mean, probably Kraft is going to be the top scoring tight end this week. So if you didn't start him, you probably missed it.
Yeah, and next week he probably won't be the top scoring tight end. He'll still be good. You can absolutely start him on a weekly basis because now everyone's aware of what his ceiling is, but
right.
At the same time, it's not going to happen every week. So I see this as a good thing. I mean, you're worried, like usually the question is, man, I have this guy who busted and this guy who busted. What do I do? You're in the opposite side of here. You're in a good position. And so look, I think it just makes sense here. Who do you trade away? The guy who just had a monster game, right? That's who you trade away because his value is going to be higher. That's what I would do. But you don't even have to do this. Only do this if you're getting a really good player back, right? Don't do this to get back, Cedric Tillman or something like that. I like Cedric Tillman, but I'd rather have Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having both those guys.
Jay, starting the Colts defense. Okay, well, you talked up the Colts defense, but are you a believer?
Okay, I have not talked up the Colts defense. I just have posed the question. Maybe they're not as bad as we think. I've not talked them up. Don't put that on.
Not okay.
when they get by the Broncos this week, you talked up the no. I said, but maybe they're better than we think. That's all. Maybe they're better than we think.
I think I heard you use the word dominant. No, I did not.
Better than the Packers.
Better. Long term, no, not long term. Nothing. Week to week. Stream. Picked Kittle up off waivers. No, because there's no IR slots.
Still worth it. Still worth it.
Yeah. Smart move. How's it in the year 2025? Teams are playing with no IR slots. JCR melts. What's up, JCR? Good morning. Ridley or Pearsall?
All right, this is close for me.
Now you did talk up Pearsall, and what we've been saying, and I totally agree, he's perfectly startable even with Mac Jones here because there's no Kittle, because there's no Jennings. Now it looks very doubtful for Jennings, and I'm still we just said about Ridley. Yes, he's startable, but it's going to take time before I feel good, like really good about him. I'm going Pearsall here.
I'm fine with Pearsall. Yeah, I'm fine with Pearsall. This is close for me. I'm not worried about Ridley at all this week. Like I'm not. I know you went from like Cam Ward league winner to worried about Titans offense after one game against one of the best defenses.
No. He's still going to be a league winner, just not yet. I
think people are overreacting a little bit to how bad the offensive line looked against one of the best defenses in the NFL. This is not nearly as tough of a matchup. I know they got Jared Verse and stuff, but this is not like the Broncos here. I'm fine with Pearsall. These guys are really close for me. I mean, let's not forget, if Ridley didn't have those 2 drops, you would have had like 6 catches for 50 yards last week against the Broncos. I still like Ridley a lot this week. I think he's going to bounce back in a big way. But yeah, I'm fine with Pearsall here. It's close.
I just think the higher ceiling goes to Pearsall still because of target share. Yeah. Target share. And yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. Cam Ward's stat line suppressed by Ridley and Io Minor, who love both of them, but they each had drops in that game. Yeah. But this is also to be expected just week 1 in general. That's why I was favoring the run game versus the pass game. A lot of offenses come out kind of rusty, except for the veteran quarterbacks. They're fine. But this is a rookie quarterback in his first start, right? Don't play a whole lot in the preseason anymore. They're just not in sync yet. It takes time. Juwan Johnson or Evan Engram. Now, we didn't mention Evan Engram on the injury report. It sounds like he's good.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to put him on there. Yeah, he's in. Thought I had him on here, but I obviously didn't. I'm still going Johnson, though. Although I don't mind Evan Ingram. Like, he was pretty involved prior to his injury last week, but I'm still going to go Juwan.
Yeah, just this matchup doesn't necessarily. I don't know. I just don't know how much the Broncos are going to air it out. It feels like kind of a low-scoring game, despite last week we saw with the Colts. But yeah, I like Juwan Johnson here. I'm a little nervous about Ingram already getting these soft tissue injuries, so I'm okay going Johnson here. Derek Gonzalez, Njoku, or Ingram?
This one's closer. Ay.
Yeah, the Njoku is going to be the one. Like, what do you do?
I mean, again, like Ingram, he only ran 12 routes. He only ran 28% of the routes for the injury, but man, he had 4 targets on those 12 routes. He had 3 catches for 21 yards, only running 12 routes. Like, I think Ingram might have had a nice day last week had he not gotten hurt. I think I'm just going to go Ingram.
Yeah, this is where you have to look at. I know what I just said about Ingram. Like, he's borderline fringe, starting tight end for me this week. But like, what are we gonna see? I don't know what we're gonna see. I don't completely buy that Fannin is all of a sudden the tight end one and Njoku's his backup. I don't think that's the case. They're both going to be involved. Is it enough? Is it enough here to put him over a guy who is the tight end in Denver that's going to catch passes? I don't think it is. I think I really need to see something different from the Browns. Don't love the matchup, so yeah, let's just go Ingram here. I hate having this dilemma. All right, Hampton, Hubbard, Monty, or Ridley. We need 2.
In full PPR, I'm going Chuba and Ridley.
Yeah, still feel good about Chuba. I don't know why people were dropping Chuba in some leagues.
Chuba didn't even have a bad game. What did I miss? Like, Chuba had a great game.
Well, I wonder if it's like guilt by association, like just Carolina's offense wasn't good. So we're like, man, they're going to be the worst team again in the NFL or something. I don't know. I just don't think he gets the benefit of the doubt being on the Panthers,
I mean, that could be true. Chuba scored 18 fantasy points last week. Like, what am I missing here? What am I missing?
Yeah, well, again, could be a buy low if he doesn't do much this week. All right, Lex Dad, thank you. Appreciate you as always. This is a 12-team PPR league. QB, 2 running back, 2 receiver, and a tight end. Rate and rank this team. Okay, so we got Hurts, CMC, Jones, Walker, London, Higgins, Keenan, Pickens, Pearsall, Monty, Mason, Trey Benson, Hunter Henry, and David Njoku.
I was going to say, I'm a little nervous about your RB2, but you actually have some good options here, like Kenneth Walker, Monty, Jordan Mason. I mean, I talked about it all off season. Jordan Mason's going to be the guy we want here. I know Aaron Jones scored that touchdown on that wheel route, but not going to score a touchdown on a wheel route every week. He did not get a lot of action in that game, especially as the game went on, and it was like, oh, Jordan Mason's way better than Aaron Jones. Maybe we should start giving him the ball a lot more. And they did. This is a good team. I mean, Hurts, CMC, and whoever your RB2 is with Higgins, Keenan, Pickens, Pearsall. You're fine at tight end. I think I'm going to put this at like an 8.5, maybe even 8.75 for a 12-teamer. Of course, you're starting Hurts. Of course, you're starting CMC. I'm still going Walker at RB2, but I didn't even see Drake London. This might be a 9. This is a 9. I didn't even see Drake London. I'm still starting Kenneth Walker, but I totally understand if you want to put Monty in as your RB2 instead and just play it safer. You got to start London. You got to start Higgins. There's no flex? No flex here?
Well, you kind of get at the end here, he's kind of got the receivers and the running backs kind of scrambled. So I'm guessing it's London, Higgins, Keenan, maybe Pickens and Pearsall are flexes, or one of them is a flex. Well, I guess I see what you're saying. He didn't put flex up at the top. It just says 2, 2, and 1. That's weird.
I don't know. If there is a flex, this is so close again. I mean, I'll say Hunter Henry at tight end, so that's easy. All right, so if there is a flex, I mean, Keenan might be the safest choice here. It's a great matchup against the Raiders. He gets the targets, but man, I think Pickens has a lot of upside in this matchup this week. I'm like, if you want to just roll Keenan because like he's got the floor, I'm okay with that. But I think I probably go Pickens here at flex.
Yeah, there's the problem. You do have a really good deep team. I hope you do have a flex because and Pearsall's still a good option too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I liked Monty enough. I know he's kind of more safe than anything. I think he's got upside here. I might go Monty this week at RB2 just so we see what happens in Seattle. But yeah, this is a good team. I agree. This might be like a 9 for a 12-teamer. And he said he's going Henry over Njoku. Yeah, absolutely. That's the right call. You're never doing that. All right. Don't worry that you're 0-1. You're good.
Right.
Tyler C, 10-team half, 3 receiver and a flex. Got a CD, Nico, and Adams. Do I flex Ibuka or T-Mac?
Which rookie do we flex? I like them both this week, honestly. But I think we got to prefer Ibuka in the Bucs offense with Baker Mayfield right now over T-Mac with Bryce Young in the Panthers offense at the moment. So I'm going to go Ibuka.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think it's not a great matchup on paper for the Bucs passing offense versus the Texans pass defense, but Ibuka specifically should still be fine. I think it might be a little harder for Evans, but let's see with T-Mac. And then he's got the infamous 0.7 PPR league. 2 in a flex was offered. There we go. Achane, Laporta, and Tyreek.
Nah.
No. I already see Bijan. No. Bijan, Ladd,
and Ladd.
This guy,
you're getting the worst running back and the worst wide receiver just to get a tight end upgrade. No.
This funny that whoever in your league offered to this guy's like, I get rid of my Dolphins, get him off my team. I don't want anything to do with this. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. No, this is a hard no. No. Fantasy football is pain. What's up? Okay, so I know I love Hunter Henry this week, and I know I loved Hawkinson all preseason. This week, what do you do?
I mean, we're not already giving up on Hawk, right? Like, come on.
No.
Come on.
But Hunter Henry does get the Dolphins.
I know. That's the thing. They get the Dolphins.
Vikings get the Falcons. Like, nothing wrong with that matchup. Get the Falcons. This is tough.
I don't know. I think I'm going Hunter Henry against the Dolphins.
I talked him up enough. I put a tight end on the Booms video. I think I kind of have to stick, right? Am I obligated to stick to my commitment there? And so you got to start him. Yeah. Because Hawk is not a must start. So go Henry. I mean, I really hope he comes through. And then needs 2, Reek, Buka, more JMO Diggs.
I'm probably just going Ibuka and more.
Definitely not wanting to start Tyreek. Yeah, down on JMO. I mean, he could, but yeah, let's do that. Ibuka more. All right, back to the super chats. Keep in mind, guys, if you did super chat, guarantee we will put your question up and answer it. Also, just to let you know, if we haven't read yours yet, it's because we are still catching up to questions that were posted hours before we went live. We're doing an order. You guys are probably waiting in order. Just assume. So in Lucero, needs 1, more Coleman, Booty, Waddle.
I think you got to go do DJ Moore here. I mean, he's still the 1A in that Bears offense. Coleman gets sauce. Booty, I do like him, but let's not act like he's a sure thing. And Waddle,
No. Yeah, exactly. I think Moore, again, I keep saying I feel like the Bears will have to pass a fair amount. I like DJ Moore enough. And that's it. Got Lamb in London. Those are definitely auto starts, so you're good. Robert Perky. What's up, Robert? At the flex. Jacoby, Pollard or JMO? Okay, wait. I see like a slew of questions. Are these all different leagues? Looks like they
I
are.
think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm going Jacoby here.
Okay, Jacoby, Pollard, JMO. The first one is Jacoby. Yeah, Pollard, Hampton, or Ibuka. And this is all full PPR.
Going Ibuka.
Ibuka it is. Jacoby, Ridley, or Hollywood.
Oh, this is
That one's
close,
tough.
close.
I mean, we know Worthy's not playing. Not shockingly. For me,
Yeah,
I think I'm
I'd probably go. I mean, I know we say Chase ceiling, but Hollywood's floor is like so insanely high.
Yeah.
And he could score. I mean, he could do something. I think you got to go Hollywood here.
Yeah, I'd go Hollywood. Like Jacoby this week, but not quite as much as last week. And go Hollywood here. Hollywood, Swift, Ridley, or Rome.
I think I go Hollywood again.
Yeah, Rome is close, but I think Hollywood is good here. Pearsall, Hollywood, or JMO. You have a lot of Hollywood.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna go Hollywood. But if you're like, wait, I have too much Hollywood on my teams right now, I'm okay with Pearsall here.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's the disrespect to Evans again. Evans, Jacoby, Sutton, or Hampton.
Yeah, I'm going Evans.
Got to go Evans. Etienne, Brees, or Garrett. What?
Wow. Wow. These guys are your flexes? What the heck? I mean, I really like Etienne this week. I like Brees this week, but I think you in full PPR, I think you got to take Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, there's no way I'm not starting Garrett Wilson this week. He was my favorite boom pick to go off this week. And then he asked, I love it, just kind of casually asks here. He's like, yeah, I like Etienne. I'm trying to get him in leagues. Like, I assume you mean trade. Like, if you just pick him up, do it. But
yeah, I didn't put Etienne on the buy low because I don't think anybody's selling low on Etienne. Like everybody wants Etienne after last week. So good luck.
Well, I was saying these leagues where you have these tough flex decisions, you know what? Offer up one of these receivers, especially. I mean, there's no way you're getting, I don't think. I say no way, but we see lots of things. You're not going to get Etienne for Hollywood straight up, but you could try to trade Hollywood plus, backup running back or something. Yeah, just try it out. All right. Let's see. Grisette is a little worried at RB. Walker, Sharps, Harvey, Dobbins, Pollard. Remember that question from the other day. You're sticking with Walker, and I think we said Pollard.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. But I totally understand if you're like, I can't do it. Let me put Dobbins in. I totally understand.
Yeah. And then his other is 8-man league where there are no bad choices. Well, you do need a better quarterback, obviously. I'm assuming you can find someone. Oh, he's got Dak.
Oh, you got Dak? Okay. If you got Dak, that's fine.
He said it down here. He's got Dak. Yeah, if you got Dak, play Dak, obviously.
All right, I assume you play Jacobs. You're going to play Chase Brown. You're going to play Neighbors. You're going to play Nico. And as much as I like Ridley this week, I think you still got to go Sutton at the flex. I think I put Sutton even. I think Sutton's even just a little safer than Pearsall this week.
Yeah, or you could go Etienne. You could even flex Etienne.
Wait, I didn't see Etienne. Oh, I might flex Etienne. I think I would flex Etienne.
Yeah, I think that might have been the pick last time. All right, let's get to Joe, also the member. All right. Evans or Hollywood?
I'm still going Evans here.
Yeah. It may not be a huge Evans game, but I can't almost ever bench Evans. He always has touchdown upside.
Right.
All right, Daniel Hart, next super chat, needs to sit either Devontae, Ibuka, or JMO. Is it JMO this week?
It's between Devontae and JMO. I assume that's Devontae Smith, not Devontae Adams, because of the way it's spelled. Even though it's not quite spelled correctly, it's spelled more like Devonta Smith than Devontae Adams. Although maybe it is kind of spelled more like Devontae Adams. It's kind of a mix.
It's a mix.
Oh boy, Daniel.
Maybe just to make things easier. Just
all right. Well, I'll say this: if it's Adams, I'm playing Adams and Ibuka fairly comfortably. If it's Smith, I probably do go Smith and Igbuka. I mean, Dallas Goedert's out. The Chiefs are more of a pass funnel because they do have a very good run defense. So we're probably gonna have to see the Eagles throw more this week. So I think I'm probably going Devontae Igbuka either way, but I'd feel a lot better if it was Adams.
Yeah, I think either way you can sit JMO. What is up, Juice? Took you long enough. I'm just kidding. Pick one, K9 Swift or Pollard in PPR.
By the way, I have a bone to pick with you, Juice.
Oh.
In one of the draft lane leagues, you dropped Chris Olave.
What?
You're a Saints fan? He wasn't even bad last week. Anyways, I'm still going Walker, but I totally understand if you're like, nope, can't do it. I think Swift is my next pick. Swift is my number 2 pick.
Yeah. By the way, I saw this. I don't even know. I didn't bother to check if it's legit. I think it is because I got it from that. What is it called? I get it every day, but I can't remember the name. That on your email, you can get those newsletters. Legit? Isn't it called Legit?
I don't know.
Man, I saw him yet. Anyways, Derek Carr. Yeah, Legit Football is what it's called. This is a good little company. But anyways, Derek Carr contemplating coming out of retirement. What? Because, you're just bored. Like, hey, I could do that. I used to do that. I can. Oh, man. All right. Sorry. Yep. No reason to talk about Derek Carr there. It's Saints, triggered it. What's up, Spearsy? One of my league mates dropped Caleb Johnson. We're stashing.
I mean, if you've got a hole on your bench that's just burning and you're like, I got to put somebody in there, okay. But I'd rather stash like somebody who's one injury away, like a DJ Giddens, a Tyler Algier. I mean, Algier might not be out there. Even a Taj Brooks. I'd rather just stash a Taj Brooks and be like, maybe if something happens to Chase Brown. But if you got no better options, sure.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, worth stashing, but I just don't think you need to do this even yet. Like, he's not going to do anything soon, is what I would say.
Right.
At some point, I might put him on the video as a stash option, but not yet. All right, and then now we're caught up to the chats when we first went live. I'll say hi to our peoples. What's up, Andrea? Always, I'd say possibly our most faithful viewer. Tracy or Keenan PPR?
Well, not starting Tyron Tracy. Keenan Allen.
Yeah, definitely Keenan here if it's PPR. And then Eric Van Vano just saying sup.
All
right, we do have to catch. And we already talked about it. He asked if Meyer is good, if Bowers is out. Yeah, definitely a good option. Joey and Coco, which Bears receiver?
Yeah, this is tough, but I think I give the edge to Odunze this week because the Lions, last year played the most man. In week 1, they played the most man. And when you look at it last year, Odunze actually had better targets per route run and yards per route run versus man than DJ Moore. So I think I prefer Odunze this week.
Yeah, we saw Odunze. Might be happening. We'll see. It's still early, but I'm okay giving the edge here to Odunze. That might possibly the most adorable of the avatars, but coming in a close second is Band's dog with the outfit. In half, Hampton or Pearsall?
I still go Pearsall here. I don't know if Hampton. This feels like a game that's going to be a ton of passing again. Neither team really committing to the run a whole lot. I think Hampton's still a ways away from being. I shouldn't say a ways away, but might need another week. I'm going to go Pearsall.
Right. It's going to take some time, as we always say, with rookies. Okay, and then AJ Fisk. Got the membership. Ted or Hunter?
Man.
Good. We saw these guys used very differently in week 1. Hunter was getting a lot of targets, but they were all really short, and Tet was getting those shots deep. I mean, I don't want to say this is floor ceiling because clearly Hunter has a ceiling, especially against the Bengals. But it almost feels like, Hunter's a little safer, but I feel like Tet has that ceiling still.
Yeah, I feel like Ted has the ceiling. The only thing that's giving me a little pause is the Bengals are so bad against slot wide receivers. This is very close. I'll go Tet, but man, this is a tough decision for sure.
Yeah, it's very close here. All right, how about another one? Yeah, I would lean Tet. Hollywood or AJB?
I'm not ready to bench AJ Brown for a Hollywood Brown after week 1, especially with Dallas Goedert out. I'm still going to go. Like, if AJ Brown busts again this week, then we are in full-fledged panic.
Right.
I might have wasted a second-round pick mode, but I'm starting AJB.
Yeah, this feels like it's possibly a big get-right game. Bowers or Hunter Henry? Do I just put in the boom candidate? That's what I would do. But are you waiting?
Yeah, I mean, let's at least wait and see what happens with Bowers today. Like, I had people asking me yesterday, like, do I just pivot off Bowers? It's like, it's Friday. It's Friday. There's no games today. Nobody plays today. Well, today's Saturday. Yeah. I was saying yesterday, but today's like nobody plays today. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do anything yet. You got the good news is you got Hunter Henry if it looks bad for Bowers.
Yeah, very good backup here. Juice just wants everyone to know he's good because he played Tucker Kraft. Very nice. Well done.
Nice.
We had a lot of questions. I think on Thursday, fair amount of people mentioning Kraft, Pitts, Johnson. We just kept saying like, hey, you got Tucker Kraft. He's your first choice. Didn't think he was going to have that kind of game, but you see why.
Right.
Brian Babulich, welcome back. Trade Sutton and Jones for Harvey and Devonta Smith.
Who are your running backs? Gibbs, Aaron Jones. Yeah, you need an RB2. You got BTJ. You kind of need a wide receiver too, but you do have Rice coming back. Smith can. I do this. I mean, yeah, it might be a little while till RJ Harvey is rolling, but I think he'll be rolling. Again, I was not very encouraged by Aaron Jones's usage. I mean, yeah, people are going to look at, well, he caught that 23-yard touchdown pass on the wheel route. Okay, great. If he does that every week, he's fine. But the start of the game, it was like a lot of Aaron Jones running the football for not much success. And then they started giving it more to Mason, and he started ripping off, not big runs, but like picking up 5, 6, 7 yards. Ended up with 15 carries. I think that's only going to grow. I think Aaron Jones is just going to be one of these guys you're just relying on in PPR leagues as a pass catching back. So give me the upside of RJ Harvey and Smith. Going from Sutton to Smith is not a big drop. It shouldn't be, at least. It might be, but it shouldn't be. So I'm taking Harvey and Smith here.
No, I see Sutton and Smith as being pretty close. And by the time the season is over, I think their stat lines will be pretty similar. They'll get them in different ways. Smith will have some spike weeks and some down weeks. Sutton is a little more consistent. But, yeah, give me Harvey over Jones. I mean, pretty easily. I mean, I was Harvey over Jones anyways, as were you, clearly in the draft process. I'm a little more worried. I thought Jones would be totally fine, RB2, so I'm a little worried. Again, it's week 1, but, now I'm thinking like, okay, well, maybe there's a reason. They brought in Jordan Mason. They really do want to lighten Aaron Jones' load. So, yeah, I'm doing this. Vino Cino. All right, full PPR. 1 running back, 1 flex. Harvey, Mason, those 2 guys. Waddle, Sharps.
Well, Mason's actually the one I feel the best about here. Sadly. Oh, man. I don't really want to start any of these other guys.
Yeah. I don't know. Not really. I really don't want to start Waddle, but I don't know.
I mean, I think Waddle's probably the guy I start here. I mean,
yeah.
Look, maybe if Sharps is the guy this week, then you're like, man, I should have started Sharps. But if he's not, you don't want to have him. I think it's too soon for Harvey. It's full PPR, Mason and Waddle.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Mason and Waddle here. All right. Cali Kid is pretty droppable for Knicks. Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yesterday. Joe and Coco again. Keenan, DJ Moore, Igbuka, pick 2.
I'm going DJ Moore and Igbuka. I just think they have more upside than Keenan. But, I mean, I'm just going DJ Moore and Igbuka.
These are all pretty close. Yeah. Still like Ibuka enough this week. I think he's starting. All right. Put another one on the map. I don't know if this is our first Sunny from Sicily, in sunny Sicily. Very nice. Just here to hang out. Thank you. And then we have Orlando. Not sure if you're in Orlando. Probably not. Just your name. But thank you. Appreciate you. Yes. See, you did bring a smile to our face. Benny Blanco. Pick one. Pickens, Hollywood, T-Mac, Ridley. Just one. Only one.
I think Hollywood is probably your best option here. The floor is just so high for Hollywood, but I really do think Pickens is in a spot to potentially have a huge game. But I'd probably just go Hollywood.
Yeah, I think we got to go with a pretty much guaranteed target share, right? I think pretty guaranteed Hollywood getting targets. I got to do that. Pickens, again, I don't think it's going to be like last week, but he's not guaranteed to be fed targets like CeeDee Lamb and Hollywood is. So let's go Hollywood. And then got Devontae Blackstock, wants a rating, a lineup, and some trade suggestions. All right, let's try it. RBs are horrendous. What you want? Got Kyler Hubbard, Monty, Tracy Warren, Sun God London, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Myers, Cup, Rice, Njoku, and Juwan.
I mean, I see why you won. I'm guessing you had JSN and Garrett Wilson in your lineup last week. And even with Sun God busting, well, I don't know. Yeah, you had 2 flex. You had both those guys in your lineup. London was fine. Sun God. Chuba was good. I don't think your running backs are horrendous. I mean, you don't have an RB1, but Chuba Monty, I think, is fine for right now. I mean, it's the 10-teamer. I'd like to have a stud running back. Certainly, you're probably going to want to make a trade here pretty soon. I mean, it's 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. You can't start Sun God London, JSN, Wilson, Myers. You can't start all those guys every week. And you're going to have Rashee Rice coming back pretty soon. You're going to need to make a trade. But I think you're fine for right now. I'll give this like a 8.5.
Yeah, the same thing. You're saying your running backs are horrendous. Chuba was not horrendous last week. He's fine. He was totally fine. You can start him even in the 10-teamer. So, yeah, you're so deep at receiver. You'll make a trade eventually. Of course, you can cut Cup to pick up whatever.
I think, I mean, I'm starting Chuba Monty. I'm starting those first 4 wide receivers. I'm not benching Sun God for Jacoby.
No. Okay. Jordan wants to know, is there a point where swapping Connor for Walker makes sense?
I think it makes sense right now. I think I would do this because, I mean, we saw Trey Benson was more involved, and you got to that's something I could see as the season goes on being more and more of a thing. At least Walker, there's still a chance that maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's not. But I think it's pretty clear after week 1 that we're going to see quite a bit of Trey Benson this year. So I would just take Walker at this point.
This is probably the best time to trade for Walker because he did nothing last week and people are panicked. So, yeah, exactly. What if he goes out there and has a good game? Maybe you can't get this trade. So, yeah. Right. Still do this. All right. I know we're still catching up super chats. Got to believe a new viewer, or at least new commenter. Never seen Horror Fanatic Lance.
Nice.
Little known fact, unless you're a longtime viewer. Chris and I are both huge horror fanatics as well. So, I think we can answer this kind of quickly. Actually, do you trust anyone in San Francisco besides CMC?
I still trust Pearsall. It's the Saints. They have no one else to throw. They're not just going to hand the ball off to CMC 100 times or 70 times and not throw the ball. They're still going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I could trust Pearsall.
Yeah, and not because I don't use the word trust with Mac Jones, but not worried that he's going to all of a sudden tank this offense. They'll still pass the ball, you know. Yeah, I think you can say we trust Pearsall. He's getting so much target share because there is no other competition there. There's none, like literally none, besides CMC. All right, Julius Fletcher. Very nice. 10-team super flex. Bryce or Danny Dimes?
I think you got to go Bryce. I cannot start Danny Dimes against the Broncos. I don't care what he did last week. I can't do it. I can't do it. Give me Bryce.
Yeah. And again, everyone thinks the Panthers are now like the worst team in the NFL. I think they'll be okay. You can go with Bryce. All right. And then we got... Let's go to Dion. Non-PPR. Need two of these guys. Harrison Sutton, DK Pearsall, Coleman.
I think you still got to go Harrison and Sutton, especially in non-PPR. Should feel good about these guys. I mean, Sutton, we know, can score a touchdown on any given week. Harrison's got that big play ability. I think you got to go Harrison Sutton.
Yeah, going Harrison Sutton. Touchdown upside is what you're looking for. And, arguably all of these guys have it, but I think the first two have it the most. It's an interesting one. Griffin says, okay, I'll just admit it's the dog. The dog got me. I put it on. But he says that all the experts he's asked, the analysts, are basically split on this. Now, this doesn't say if it's PPR, and I think that matters, but I guess we'll assume PPR, Sharps or Mason.
I mean, I don't even know if PPR matters. Charbonnet didn't get a single catch last week, while Kenneth Walker had 3.
Which is weird.
I'm going Mason.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mason anyway. So make sure we're not splitting 50-50 here. We're both going Mason. Johnny, 22 Bear, welcome back. Got Higgins, Pearsall, Moore, Pickens, Booty. Needs 2 of those.
I mean, you got to start Higgins. He's a must start still.
Yeah. It's that same group. It's going to be every week until further notice. We're going to get a ton of Ricky Pearsall questions.
I mean, I can't put Booty over these guys. Even though I like Booty this week, I can't put him over these guys.
Right. And I will say, this could be a big Pickens game, but it's hard for me to put him in over those other two. I feel a lot more confident about the target share. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need to take the risk of him getting a 0 when I know Pearsall will get me something with potential for more. And I know more should be solid. So I'm kind of between
Pearsall.
Although we do have to flex one, so maybe we'll pick one of those others, but.
Yeah, we might. Well, I mean, you definitely got to start Henry and Chuba.
Yeah, the first 2 running backs, that's easy. And if this is PPR,
I kind of do want to flex Pickens, but I mean, I guess Moore is fine at the flex.
Yeah, I don't think we need to flex a running back here. Okay, so we're going to go Henry, Hubbard, Higgins, Pearsall and Pickens?
Well, I mean, I want to flex Pickens. I think he's got a big game, but I understand if you want to go DJ Moore, he's a little safer.
No, but I think if we got one,
flex Pickens.
Yeah, I'll flex Pickens over Moore. I think that's okay if we're picking Pearsall. And then who should I drop for Judkins?
I mean, that's nobody. This is all you have. I mean, I guess I could. I don't really want to drop Pacheco, but I guess you could drop Pacheco for Judkins. I doubt anybody's going to run out to pick up Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco. I don't know. I don't think I would drop Pacheco for Judkins. If you really want to hold him, that would be the guy. And now it's Black Jesus. Trade JCM for Hubbard. Selling on JCM.
Yeah, you got to take Chuba. Chuba's still the guy here. Chuba's the guy here.
Yeah, selling on hype. Well, that's exactly right. I mean, basically, we got 2 games where he hasn't done a whole lot, but I know he will. Like, I get it, but give me Chuba.
Yeah.
All right, and then Cody. What is up, Cody? Start Ridley or Ted?
Still going Ridley here. I like Ridley's matchup this week. I mean, I don't understand. Like we said all last week, it's going to be a bad Ridley week. We shouldn't be panicking because he had a bad week last week. It should just be like, yeah, we expected that. I'm going Ridley.
Yeah, this is close. Right? Ted's still very interesting upside, but let's go Ridley. Anthony Vieda. Flexing Javonte Williams or Ricky Pearsall?
No, I'm going Pierce. Unless it's non-PPR. If it's non-PPR, sure. I'll go Javonte. But if it's PPR, I'm going Pearsall.
Right. In this case, it does matter. I think it would have to be non-PPR for me to play Javonte over Pearsall. That's the only way I would do it. And then Cali Kid again. Needs one in full. Gino, Caleb, JJ, Nix, Fields, Jones, or Mac. All these guys are just out there on waivers or what?
It's got to be Fields. Fields has to be the number one choice here.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we're both kind of almost secretly hoping he doesn't have a monster game because we don't want him to outshine JD now. Said, got to start Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels still at least salvaged his day. But, yeah, I always feel bad if Fields had a monster game. Then we have AJ. Opponent projects super close. Don't worry about that. Juwan or Ferg at tight end?
Juwan.
Yeah, go Juwan. Is there any useful guidance on kickers?
I'm sure there's probably somebody out there who studies kickers and knows a lot about kickers. I mean, if ESPN gets it right, whatever.
All right, real quick, because it's kickers. Kicker in a good offense, obviously, that's going to score against a not so great defense. But also, remember, you want kickers from teams that are just good enough, right? Good enough to move the ball, but don't always score touchdowns. You know what I mean? So they are forced to kick field goals. And of course, you want games that are.
You don't even really want kickers on the elite offenses. Like, in fact, I think Scott Barrett did a study on this like 5 years ago. And he showed no correlation between like the amount of points the team scored and the amount of points a kicker scored. Because if a team scores 5 touchdowns, a kicker does not score a lot of points. You almost want those offenses that are like good but not great.
Right. And that's why I said good offense is not elite offense, not great. Like, not the Eagles kicker isn't going to be the best fancy kicker because they always score touchdowns, right? That's exactly right. But
then you always run the risk that good offense isn't good enough that week.
Yeah. And also I'll say I always will prefer an experienced kicker because these guys who just made the team this year, you don't know how they're going to pan out. Guys get cut all the time. Now with kickers going in and out of rosters, give me a guy who is on that team last year and they have confidence that they're going to let him kick the field goal. Whereas if they're like, we don't know if this guy's going to make it, and then we're going to go for it on fourth down. Give me an experienced kicker every time. Poor boy Sin.
In-depth kicker talk.
I know. It went way too long. Will Lutz, totally fine. Great choice. Handy J-Mo Pearsall needs 2.
I don't know if I feel a Henderson big game, but I don't know if I feel a Jameson big game this week either. Pearsall is for sure in my lineup here. Oh, man. I mean, if you want to roll with Henderson, I'm okay with it. Again, I don't feel like this is not like usually historically, and I think you even talked about this on one of the videos when you talked about or maybe I talked about it when I talked about Jameson Williams. One of us talked about it. Let me make sure I'm not mistaken here. But I'm pretty sure he definitely struggled against zone last year. He was much better against. He saw an uptick against man. Yeah, he was not great against zone last year.
Yeah, the Bears. I see it. This was you. You wrote this down. The Bears played zone at the 3rd highest rate, and that's better for Sun God as opposed to
usually better for Sun God. So I think I mean, if you want to do Henderson over Jameson, I'm okay with it.
It absolutely could be a good game. I wouldn't say a big game yet. They aren't just going to completely throw Ramondre to the side yet. Soon, but not yet. But I do feel Henderson gets more touches than him, and it's the Dolphins. Yeah, I think this could be a good game for Henderson. I'm fine with that. Sure, Pearsall and Hendy, Edward Buscarino in half. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Fields over Kyler or Baker.
Yeah, I play Fields over both of them.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely do that as well. Tony Thomas. One running back, one flex. Chuba, Pearsall, Pollard.
I'm going Chuba and Pearsall.
Chuba and Pearsall it is. And then we have Mab Squad 1914. MAB. Needs a wide receiver too. Shakir, Waddle, Pittman, Wan'Dale Robinson. Don't play Wan'Dale Robinson. He's hurt, even if you wanted to, which you shouldn't anyways.
I mean, I might just play Shakira just to have Shakira in my lineups, but I think I probably go Shakir anyways. He should be fine this week. Pittman against the Broncos and Surtain. I don't know about if I want to roll Pittman out this week.
That's exactly right. Pittman might now all of a sudden look like the best option, but not this week. I don't want to play Waddle if I can help it. Yeah, let's just go Shakir. It's kind of more like no to the rest. So yes to Shakir.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you honestly wondering here, is a guy like Kayshon Boutte on waivers and available? Drop Wan'Dale, pick him up.
I would.
Yeah. All right. Will Davies says standard and Njoku or Strange for some change.
For some change. It's Strange. Definitely Strange. Going against the Bengals.
Right. Not just to compensate for last week, but again, the Bengals last year were the absolute worst against tight ends. And guess what? They were pretty bad last week because they gave up Harold Fannin, rookie tight end.
Yes.
Pretty good game. And Njoku caught some passes too, whether people realize it or not. Go Strange here. Some matchups. All right, we got a super chat from Jonathan Waite. Thank you, Jonathan. I don't see a question in the immediate vicinity of your super chat. So as soon as I see it, I'll put it up. But let's go now to Aaron K. How's it going? Needs 3. Neighbors, Sutton, London, Igbuka. Wow.
I mean, as much as I like Igbuka, it's got to be those first 3. I can't bench those first 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think a slightly tougher matchup here makes it okay to sit at Igbuka. But yeah, exactly. How do you sit any of those first 3? All right, Jose Rodriguez needs 2 running backs and 1 flex. This is not much easier. How can you not start all of these guys? Bucky, HN, Brees, and Gibbs.
Yeah, but I think the one you have to bench here is Brees. I mean, you can't sit Gibbs. You can't sit Bucky. I still don't think you can sit HN. I mean, the guy. I'm sitting Brees here, but man, how do you have all 4 of these guys?
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to decide this on a weekly basis. Yeah, I think it would have to be Brees. All right, then let's go to John. Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, or Keenan Allen. He's saying he's already got Ladd. I mean, I think that's a good enough reason to move off of Keenan Allen if you have those other 2 options.
Yeah, I'm just going to go Pearsall here.
Yeah, that's another tough one. I'll have some good options here. Always good options for Cody Greenwood. So now, Fields or Dak?
Fields.
Definitely Fields. And then would you go Ingram or Henry?
I think you got to go Henry this week.
Yeah, obviously huge on Henry, but enough reason to kind of be worried about Ingram if you've got a tough choice, which you do. So there we go. And then here we go, the super chat from Juice. Put these guys in order. Ridley, Pearsall, DJ Moore, Dunze, Ted McMillan, and then at running back, you got K9, Pollard, Swift, Mason.
Spider-Man meme. Pearsall, Ridley, Odunze, Tet, DJ Moore. But my confidence level that that is the correct order is like 10%. Because I could see these guys finishing in any. These guys are all very close for me. Feel good about all of them, honestly. Walker, Swift, Pollard, Mason? Question mark. Be my order there.
I can see why you're asking this. This is a tough one. Mine's pretty close. I would go Pearsall, Dunze, Ridley, Moore, Tet, and then. Oh, man. I mean, this is probably PPR, so I think I have to put Mason last. Pollard third. Walker second. Swift first, I think. Cash money. Fields or Herb Bro?
I think you got to go Herbert just because as much as I like Fields, I just think Herbert's a tiny bit safer because he's a guy we know can throw for 300 plus yards, multiple touchdowns, and he gives you some rushing. So just think Herbert's my preferred option this week against the Raiders. Herbert.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You're saying I have both. Who do you use rest of the season? Well, why do you have to decide now? Like, do you have to set your lineup for the rest of the entire season right now? No, you don't. Pick and choose based on matchup. Now we got Siren Jag. We're going Dylan Sampson or DeAndre Swift.
Swift.
Yeah. Definitely go Swift here. Not worried about Judkins just yet, but worried that Cleveland's not a great offense overall. And then we have it's a pretty good team name. Unsolicited Dax picks. 8-teamer. I love how he even put his name as Dak. And that's not Dak, it's Dax. Dax, Bo, Bijan, Bucky, Collins, Ridley, Igbuka, Hunter, Martin Harrison, Monty, Walker, and one of the Jay Williamses.
All right, well, I assume you need two. I can go Dax over Bo this week. You got to start Bijan and Bucky. Man, I think you got to go Collins Harrison here. My goodness, the flex decision here.
So again, that group, this is full PPR. I think that's enough to bump those other running backs off the list. So it's like Ridley,
between Ridley, Igbuka, Hunter for my flex.
Yeah.
I think I'll go Igbuka, but I do really like Ridley this week.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I could go either way. Ridley, Igbuka. I don't think I would put Hunter over them. So yeah, Ridley, Igbuka. What did we both have them probably in the solid tier? I'm guessing, yeah. Actually, well, you know what? I said it earlier. I was a little hesitant on Ridley. I have Ridley more as a flex. I guess I have to say Igbuka. It's probably my choice, but you go either way. Stuart Meacham. 2 receivers. Ridley, Wilson, Pearsall, McMillan, or Booty.
All right, well, you got to start Wilson. I still go Pearsall here. I still like Pearsall a lot.
Yeah, this makes it easier for me. Easily Wilson, Pearsall. What about Stroud, Young, or Indiana Jones?
Can we say none of the above? I guess Bryce Young.
Stroud is going to be a guy really curious to see if he responds this week. He and the whole offense. I thought having just Nick Chubb back there and not much of a run game would say like, okay, we're going to have to pass it more. But then what we could see, if the defense is good enough, is they just don't score a lot of points. It's just not a high scoring offense because What you like is a team that passes the ball a lot and also gives up points on defense, right? Kind of like Tampa Bay. That's why you always like Tampa Bay, because Baker Mayfield will air it out and the defense won't really stop too many people. Houston might kind of be the opposite. I don't know. How big a game is he going to have against Tampa this week? I don't know. It's Monday night. You know what? We'll go Bryce Young. Go Bryce Young. Not Jones. Not this week. PD. Tybill. 3 receivers in the flex. Neighbors. DJ. Ibuka. Devontae Adams. Hollywood Brown. And then let's throw Kamara in there as a flex option too.
Well, at least we get to start 3 of these guys. I'm going to go Neighbors, Adams, Hollywood are my definite top 3.
Yep.
And then it's between DJ Moore and Ibuka. I might give the edge to Ibuka. I might be too high on Ibuka this week, but I'm going to go Ibuka.
So Ibuka over Kamara.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Kamara, I was not encouraged by Kamara getting 2 targets on 46 passes is not what we want to see.
Yeah, that's another guy really going to look pretty hard at his stat line to see how he's used, if it's any different. Are they going to look and say, okay, we got to get the ball to our stud running back more, or just kind of more straight up not care? Like, look, we're going to target the hell out of Juwan Johnson. Like, it's just going to be the game plan. I totally agree. Neighbors, Adams, Hollywood's my first 3. I could go either way for the flex. So I think Kamara's like the floor play here. Ibuka is more for the ceiling. What do we always say? Go for ceiling. Julio says he's running late. No, you're fine. We've been on here for an hour and a half. We got another hour and a half to go. What are your recommendations with Bowers? All right, so let's recap, I guess is what he's saying. Missed the top of the show. If you have to pick up tight ends, when?
Well, you should definitely pick one up now. I mean, you don't want to be, well, I guess if you've got Judkins and Golden, because we haven't talked about Jaden Reed out like 6 to 8 weeks with that shoulder injury, and we saw Golden should have had a huge game. Like, how is it that Jordan Love is so good, and then when he throws to Matthew Golden, it's like he sucks. He's like not any good anymore. Like, Golden was wide open for that touchdown. He underthrew him, was wide open on that huge gain. He overthrew him. It's like, you're only good when you throw to everybody else. Like, you're only like, why can't you throw the ball to Golden? Too fast. He's too fast for Jordan Love. Jordan Love doesn't know what to do. He's like, oh, you're too fast for me.
Yeah.
But Golden played ran the second most routes after Jaden Reed went out. Like, I think we're going to see. I thought it might be a while for Golden, but I think it might be here now. So I really don't want to drop Golden. But I really don't want to drop Judkins either. But if I have to, I'll drop Judkins. But I'd like to wait. Again, I'd like to wait as long as possible because I don't want to just drop these guys and then have Bowers play and be like, oh, crap, I could have held on to him. And again, I'm fine with Michael Mayer on Monday. He'll be fine.
Yeah, it's best to just pick somebody up now to be safe. So I'm okay dropping Judkins for now, especially in his league. I think it's a 10-teamer. I think you're okay. All right. We're kind of at halftime of our show, by the way. So I think this is a good time since some people like Julio and others weren't here at the very beginning and maybe just tuned in. A couple of reminders. Let's see. Let's start with Underdog. All right. So we get back to the draft line thing. So keep in mind, you're doing your lineups, right? You're setting your lineups, maybe making your last minute waiver picks, whatever, for your fantasy team, of course. Don't forget to set your picks on Underdog. And if for some reason you haven't tried it yet, this is a good time. Dare I say, the perfect time. To try Underdog for the first time, download the app. And then when you sign up for the very first time, because you're just creating your Underdog account, you're like, I've heard about it over and over and just haven't tried it. This is the time to try it. You get that gimme pick. But if you use code NGAME, remember, you get up to $1,000 of bonus cash potentially on your first deposit. They'll match a portion of it. So the more you put in, the more you get back. That's bonus cash plus the free pick that you get for signing up using code NGAME, plus the gimme pick they're giving to every new customer. And still, not sure how much longer they're going to do this, but new customers, As soon as you play $5 towards anything, you get $50 in bonus funds. So the bonus cash for your first deposit, bonus cash just for playing for what you already have in your account. And remember, this doesn't even just have to be NFL. This is for anything. And they have every sport. Pick'ems, they got, hey, it's not that much longer here. We're in September. I already saw some news. NBA season is coming. NHL season is coming. Get your preseason picks in for those sports. So, again, good time to try and take advantage of all these gimmies from Underdog. And as you've seen for the entire time, we've got Draft Lane as a free download. Don't forget, you can ask your questions on the Draft Lane app. So if you want to, at some point, it doesn't look like we have any new ones right now, but as we showed you at the very top, we can answer your questions just like you're asking here on the stream. You got start sit or waiver wire or trade questions, whatever you got, use the app at any time and you can ask your questions. And you can also use promo code Endgame. You get 10 free credits right here, right now. So it's basically risk-free. It's a free download, App Store, Play Store, as you see right there. We're going to keep those codes up so that you know exactly how to download it. Super easy. And you can sync your Yahoo leagues and your sleeper leagues with Draft Lane. Once you do that, ask away. We can see your roster. If you ask a trade question, that advanced trade question, you can ask, should I do this or what should I get? If you ask it on the app, we can see the roster of everybody in your league, and we can tell you who to trade with. We can tell you exactly what to trade for. And so it's a lot more in-depth even than what we can do here on YouTube. So it's really a cool feature. Try it out if you haven't yet. All right. Now, if we do get any new questions on Draft Lane right now during the stream, we can pop them up and show you what it's like. But I figure we should go on to the Super Chats. This is Jonathan Waite. Remember, Jonathan dropped the super chat earlier. Here's the question. Thank you, Jonathan. No PPR. 1, 2, 2, and 1 flex. Got Herbert or Dak. Which quarterback? Or Herbert? I think you're muted. Here.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Yeah, you got to go Herbert at QB, Barkley, Genti, Etienne at flex, and then London Ladd at wide receiver.
All right. There you go. Let's get to the next one. Abel. What's up, Abel? 10-man full PPR, 1 receiver, 1 flex, 1 running back. T-Mac, Hollywood, Pickens, Jacoby, Pearsall, and then either Monty or Kenneth Walker.
Hollywood, Pickens, Jacoby, Pearsall, Booty Ridley. Those are the choices this week, apparently. Man, I think Hollywood's got to be number 1 here with Worthy out. I'd probably still go Pearsall 2, but I don't mind any of these guys, honestly. No, not the running backs. Definitely not the running backs.
Yeah, not in full. Yeah, this one is it's tougher. I was like, we were both pretty confident with Jacoby Myers last week. He's still a solid option. I don't know if he'll do as well, but here's the thing. I mean, really, I don't think we've even mentioned this specifically in, relative to him. If Bowers doesn't play, it's probably good for Jacoby Myers, isn't it?
Yes.
Definitely. So I don't know if I'm bumping him up. I'm not going to bump him up significantly because I know it just means, okay, well, Michael Mayer is going to take his place. But that means they're going to run less 12 personnel in general, I would think. And actually, they passed a lot in neutral situations last week. They might just need to pass more this week because they're facing a better team. You know what I mean? They might not be winning like they were last week. So now I feel like I'm talking myself into Jacoby Myers more. Because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe this is a good Jacoby Myers week, even though the matchup looks worse on paper,
Yeah.
But I still think you got to go Hollywood. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to go Hollywood, Jacoby, and Pearsall. Is that what you said in the first place?
Oh wait, no, because hold on, I thought it was one wide receiver, one
Oh,
flex,
and
but now I see one running back.
yeah, we do need a running back. I go Monty over Walker.
Yeah, Monty's fine over Walker, but I go Hollywood Pearsall, but I'm fine with Hollywood Jacoby too.
Hollywood Pearsall. Yeah, I wish you could start 2 receivers and a flex. Okay, well, it's the same. Hollywood Pearsall, Monty. But now I think I'm going to have to be a little higher in Jacoby if Bowers is not playing. But we don't know yet. Not for sure. This is annoying. A. Gill over there in Mexico. Thank you. Devontae Adams or Ricky Pearsall in half. Does it matter he has Puka?
No, it doesn't matter. I actually like Adams this week. I think just because of the Mac Jones potential, I will go Adams here. This should be a good spot for Adams this week.
Yeah. Still like Pearsall, but do like Adams quite a bit. All right, I just realized we really haven't done many of the non-super chats because we've been trying to catch up and we have a lot of questions for our member stuff. Let's do a few as we get moving here because we do have a lot of questions that are worthy of answering. Let's start with Bad Sport.
All right.
It's a tight end. That's pretty cool. Juwan Johnson or Brenton Strange?
Oh man. Oh geez. I think I have this decision in a couple draft lane leagues, and I'm so on the fence because Strange has such a good matchup, but Juwan could get the targets. I think I'm leaning Juwan Johnson.
This is tough because Strange has that absolute smash matchup, but Juwan Johnson was more involved, right? I think I'm leaning Juwan Johnson too. Okay, this how do we say that? L1 nut?
I guess.
Okay. Hollywood or Pittman?
This one's not tough. Hollywood.
It's Hollywood, yes. Pittman getting the Sertan treatment. That's a hard no. All right, possibly a baseball fan. Mash and taters. That's a trade. What do you think about this? Genti and Igbuka for Achin and more.
Man, this is wow. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. You want the rookies or the vets?
Right. I mean, Genti Achin could go either way, right? I don't even know if there's a winner here. Do we feel better about Igbuka over more already? The thing is, Chris Godwin is going to come back in week 5,
Right.
week 6. He's going to come back. We can't just assume Igbuka is like a league winner. But DJ Moore, is he even the number 1 in Chicago anymore? Dunze stepping up. This could go either way. This is almost just like preference.
Exactly. I don't know which side I prefer.
Maybe
I don't know. I think I'm taking the rookies, but that might just be like week 1 overreaction.
Well, I was leaning rookies anyways. I was like, maybe I feel like a little less risky here, which sounds weird, but I feel like I feel better about Genti Igbuka. But this could go either way. All right, and then let's do one more, and we do need to get back to all the super chats. Let's do. Try to figure one we haven't done yet. Darkened Dexter. Do you think Dak can do better than Baker Mayfield?
I mean, I think he can, but I also think I still start Baker over Dak.
Yeah, I don't think Baker's going to smash this week, but the concern with Dak, if there's a concern, is they just don't have to pass the ball that much because it's the Giants. So I would still go Baker too. All right, let's go to GMAC. Pick 3, London, Flowers, Hollywood, or DJ Moore.
Got it. I mean, London's still a must. I think the first three. I think it's just the first three for me. Like London's a must start. Flowers, how do you really bench him? And I can't bench Hollywood this week. So first three.
First three. Yeah. And then we got Jin Rail. And Joker or Strange.
Strange.
Yeah. I think this one is Strange. You can avoid the worry with Njoku. Strange, such a good matchup here. A Zerby, Tet, Keenan, or Ibuka.
Keenan probably your safer bet here. I mean, I don't mind the Chargers against the Raiders this week, but I still like Ibuka the most here for the upside. But I'm okay. Like Keenan's the safe. Like Keenan should be fine. Like there's not really much risk with Keenan.
Yeah. Again, this is all pretty close. I think Tet is more potential high risk, high reward, but I don't think you need to go there since you have those other two. I lean in Ibuka as well. All right, familiar name, Tarsha Lawson Werner. Welcome back. With no Kittle, picked up Henry and Strange. Between the two, this is going to be Henry, right?
Yeah, Henry.
And both really good options.
Yes.
But yeah, all in on Henry. Alex Saban. Here we go. One of these. Would you trade Saquon and Nico for Bucky and Jamar Chase? Is there even a winner here? I don't know. I think I'd rather have Saquon Nico.
Yeah, I think I still got to go say. I mean, we have no worries about Saquon, right? Like, he was fine last week. Yeah. I know Nico coming off a bad game, but so is Jamar Chase. I'm taking Saquon and Nico.
Yeah, and I just don't. I don't see the purpose. Like, why do this? Like, what are you gaining here? You're not, not losing necessarily. I got Jamar Chase, but what's the purpose of? I don't think so. Chief perp. Defense: Rams or Vikings?
Rams are in a good spot. Vikings, Falcons. Probably go Rams.
Let's see. Vikings against the Falcons. It's not great. Yeah, I just don't feel like they're going to get a lot of turnovers, sacks, and stuff. So let's go Rams. Okay. Next is different. No, I think this is the same one. A little variation. Let's put this up. It's A. Gill asked about Devontae Adams or Pearsall. We said Devontae Adams. Really think Mac Jones is going to go crazy with Ricky. So now we have a Mac Jones truther. But
well, if you think that, you better put Pearsall in then.
So, I mean, in this case, it's close enough where you're like, hey, I'm feeling it with Pearsall. I got Puka. Because the way he asked it earlier is like, I have Puka. It's okay, right? It's okay to go Pearsall over Devontae Adams this week.
Yeah, it's fine. Totally fine. Totally fine.
All right. There we go. I just want to put, there are some people who do believe in Mac Jones still. Rise above anything. What's up? Hurts or Dak? I mean, come on. You got to start Hurts.
Hurts. Why? Like, what? Why are we even considering benching Hurts?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great matchup on paper. I think he did okay last time these two teams played.
Yeah, he certainly did.
All right. Kyle, Ingram or Fannin?
I'm going Ingram.
Yeah, again, don't want to go crazy about Fannin. Just assume he's it.
Although some people you say Strange is on waiver wire, I might drop Ingram for Strange.
Oh, and Juwan.
I mean, I might drop Fannin actually for either of these guys.
So Ingram or Fannin? Well, he picked up Fannin, obviously, but you're saying we could just drop Fannin and pick up Juwan Johnson or Strange and start one of those guys over Ingram.
Yeah, probably Juwan.
Yeah, let's do that. Go Juwan over Fannin and start Juwan this week. Got a lot of good options there. This is yet another reason you don't have to necessarily draft early tight end. But anyways, then we got Clambino, Casper the Friendly Ghost there. Devontae Smith or Chuba Hubbard?
Oh man. You want the boom bust Devonta Smith or you want the high floor Chuba Hubbard?
Yeah, I think I know Goddard is out. That's not going to push me over the edge to say I have to start Devonta Smith. Yeah, I got no reason not to play Chuba. I would probably just go Chuba if it was my team, even if it's PPR.
Yeah, let's just go Chuba. Let's take that high floor.
All right. Well, actually, this might be a good time to do it. I just noticed I'm checking on the draft lane. This exact same user, am I saying it right? Clambino? Clambino. Put a question on the draft lane. Should we throw it up?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. Here we go. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Even during the stream, why not? Put the same question on there. So this is ask a question. Let's see if it's a different question. So there you go. Got one answered live, get one answered here on the app. So this question here, and again, we do the ask a question feature on Draft Lane. You can put anything you want. You just type it out and we'll see it. Full PPR, 10-man. Bo or Murray?
I'm going to go Kyler this week.
All right, Murray. And then the flex, there was that question: Chuba or Devonta Smith? We'll go
Chuba. And yeah, I think the rest of the line, like I'm not sitting Cook or Henry, and I'm not sitting CD or JSN.
You are set. Okay. That's it, right? Nothing else?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Appreciate you using that. That's Clambino asking the question on the app. And again, if we have any other personalized feedback here, we put it on there. In this case, pretty clear cut. So there you go. That's how it works. That's simple. So don't forget, you can use Draft Lane anytime. If you haven't downloaded it, there it is. Free download. All right, let's go on to Salvatore Lopez. What about Strange or Kincaid? And he's asking rest of season, but I know the answer to that.
I think this is close. This week it's Strange. I think rest of the season could be close.
Yeah.
But this week's Strange. So let's just go Strange now and figure out rest of the season later.
Yeah. And again, I understand it, right? People ask rest of the season, I want to know, but things change every week. So you don't have to decide rest of the season now because that's what the waiver wire is for. That's what trades are for. Right now, right here is Strange. And look, I was high on Strange preseason as well, talking about draft. So, let's just say Strange for now. All right, Rise is back with a tight end question. Well, you got good options. Juwan Johnson or Hunter Henry. I feel like I'm obligated to say Hunter Henry, but I don't.
Yeah, Hunter Henry against the Dolphins. Let's just go Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Jordan wants to know if he's cooked.
Probably not.
Probably not. You got Kraft in there. That's pretty good. Going against JD, didn't have a great game. HN, Brees, Lamb, Jason, Kelsey, Flex, Tyreek. Yeah, I actually think you're in a better spot.
How are you cooked when your tight end just went for like 24 points? Your tight end just outscored his QB1. You're probably not cooked.
Yeah. Your tight end went off. His QB sort of busted. His flex is Tyreek Hill. You're going to cook, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. I don't know if his QB busted. What did he get, like 21 points? But he certainly didn't go off.
Well, he didn't go off. And you expect JD to have a big game, and he didn't have a big game. So, also, by the way, besides downloading Draft Lane, doesn't hurt if you give us a thumbs up. Thank you for the reminder, Julio. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Got a lot of new viewers in here. We appreciate all of you. We're going to try to do as many of your questions as possible, but we do have a lot of super chats to still catch up to, so we're going to do those first. If you want to guarantee your question gets answered, either use the app or use super chat. Okay, so Spears is a little worried about Njoku. I get that. Njoku or Strange.
I definitely go Strange this week, and I would drop Njoku for Juwan Johnson, honestly.
Yeah. Get it? It's that same dilemma. There's nothing wrong with going with Stranger Johnson. Okay, we have another one from MAB Squad 1914. Choose 2, Hollywood Ted Sutton.
I think Hollywood and Sutton is still my choice. As much as I like Ted, I have no reason to bench Hollywood or Sutton.
Yeah, exactly. And then the one name I can never confidently feel like I'm saying correctly, Soti. Even now, Brett, we probably asked, he's probably told us, and I just don't remember. Soti. And I believe this is in Italy. Half PPR, Pitts or Henry?
Man. I think I'm going Pitts.
I was gonna say, like, okay, I'm gonna break what I just said. If you got Pitts, I'll go Pitts over Henry. But now the fact we know London, I figured London would play, but now Mooney's back. I'm like, that's not as good for Pitts. I still think go Pitts here, right? I still think I'm gonna go Pitts.
Yeah.
Good options. Good options. Okay, and then we have Unforgiven. Myers or Hollywood?
I think you got to go Hollywood here. Again, he's the wide receiver 1 for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I know. I was just saying with Myers if Bowers is out, but yeah, Hollywood is pretty easy to set and forget this week. All right, Robert Perkey with some more. Robert is going to also be in way too many leagues this year. I feel like these are the same players. Jacoby Sutton or Pollard?
Sutton.
Etienne or Walker?
Etienne.
Yeah. Hampton, Adams, or Ridley?
Adams.
Pollard or Ibuka?
PPR.
Yeah.
Ibuka.
PPR, go Ibuka. All right, not too bad. And then Julio wants to know Pearsall over Monty and Pickens.
Yes, I do like Pickens' potential upside, but he's also riskier. I'm just going to go Pearsall.
Yeah, and actually, okay, I'm glad you mentioned this. He's saying if he has to pick up a tight end for Bowers, he would have to drop both Judkins and Golden. But why?
What? Why would you have to drop 2 players to pick up 1 tight end?
Yeah, I'm not sure why you would have to do that. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay because you're in a shallow league. These guys are probably still going to be on there on the waiver wire. Hopefully you don't have to do that. Mar, thank you. Appreciate you. Pick 1 running back, Mason, Pacheco, Samson, Harvey.
I think you got to go Mason here.
Yeah, not ideal choices. Go Mason for upside. And then Pearsall, T-Mac, Hollywood. Let's go Hollywood.
Yeah, I think you got to go Hollywood. Wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right, Salvatore Lopez. Is there a chance that Kendrick Bourne will go off with Mac Jones?
I mean, it's fantasy football. Like, I've learned anything within reason. Like, if a guy's out there, anything is possible. But we do have to remember Kendrick Bourne just signed with the 49ers this week. Like, how many snaps is Kendrick Bourne really going to play?
Yeah. Because even if Mac Jones is not normally the starter, he's at least been there in camp with Ricky Pearsall this whole time. And I wouldn't count on it. I mean, look, Kendrick Bourne, you've got to be in a pretty deep league if he's your best option. So, look, if you want to take it higher, I don't know what it is on Underdog. I haven't checked. I doubt it's very high. I actually can't even guarantee he's even on there. Like, does he even have a pick? He may not. He may not be on there. If you want to put him like at a DFS play, okay, sure. Put a few bucks and see if you get something out of it. I think that's the kind of risk you take. in DFS, right? I feel like this guy's going to go off. All right. There's no reason you should put him in a fantasy lineup. So, Ryan Allen. Fields or Herbert?
Going Herbert over Fields this week.
Yeah, Herbert's in a good enough spot against the Raiders here. All right, flex Ridley, Smith, Jalen Warren, or Nick Chubb?
Ridley here.
Yeah, close between Ridley and Smith, but Ridley's clearly the number one receiver in his offense, and Smith still isn't. This could be an AJB week. What is up, Royland? He hates having two tight ends, but it's okay. You picked up Juwan Johnson. Thoughts on Juwan versus Hawk?
I mean, I still prefer Hawk rest of the season. I might go Juwan this week and see if it continues, but I'm not like we can't like after week 1 be like, oh, it's Juwan's going to be better than Hawk this year. It's been 1 week.
Right. Still not giving up on Hawk. He'll be fine. Trade one. It's too soon. No. Alex B. Samson or Tootin asking rest of season.
I prefer Tootin. I mean, look, Judkins. There's like they're going the opposite directions here, right? Like,
yeah,
Tootin's path became more clear. Samson's path has become less clear. Judkins returning. Judkins is only going to get worked in more and more. There's a chance Tootin gets worked in more and more. So I think it's got to be Tootin here.
Yep, got to be Tootin. And now's the time to stash him. All right, Tarsha Lawson Werner wants to know who to start here. If that is Josh Allen, there's never a question. It's Josh Allen over Fields even.
Yes.
CMC, JT Pollard, Connor Hampton, Dobbins. Receivers are Nico Ladd, Ridley, Pierce, Tet, and then Henry or Ingram, and then defense.
I'm going to go Henry over Ingram. You're starting Josh Allen. You're going to go CMC, JT. I assume 2 running back, 2 wide receiver flex. CMC, JT, Nico Ladd. I'm flexing Pearsall. Ravens play the Browns. But the 49ers get the Saints. I'm going 49ers.
Yeah, and I just agree with all that. I would just say real quick, this is a 12-teamer. This is a pretty dominant team. I don't know how you got all these players on a 12-teamer. This is pretty nice. Basic money. Trading Harrison for Connor? Nah, not if you're getting Connor.
No reason to get Connor.
No.
I mean, get Harrison. Take Harrison.
Yeah. Either way. Harrison, clearly. Interesting. Ride some waves. Trade Debo for Fields.
I don't think. I mean, unless you like are desperate at QB.
Yeah, this depends. I mean, who is your quarterback, or what are your options on waivers? I mean, if you're deep enough at receiver, like I don't feel like Debo's a guy you necessarily need to start every week. Obviously, he scored, right? He's been pretty good the first 2 weeks, but I'm okay doing this if you're feeling like you're dead in the water at QB. You shouldn't be already, though. I don't know. All right, let's get to Santiago. Good afternoon. All right, are we dropping Loveland for any of these tight ends? Scott Juwan, Pitts, Strange, Jonnu, or Hunter Henry?
Well, I would drop Loveland for pretty much any of them, honestly. Pitts is the one I want.
Yeah, any of those guys. He's saying he already has London. It's okay. I think that's okay. So
yeah,
go Pitts. If Pitts doesn't pan out, look at all the options you have. Yeah, Juwan and then Strange and then even Hunter Henry. Like if you're not feeling Pitts or you're like, I don't want too many Falcons for whatever reason, I don't think this week it's a bad option to just go Hunter Henry and then take it from there. But definitely you can drop Loveland. All right, we got VBZ2X. It's like my password for something. 3 PPR. Drake, Hollywood, Pickens, Hampton. One more in the chat. Okay, I'll look for that. Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, well,
so we're picking 3. I mean, you got to start Drake London. I think it's got to be the first 3 for me. In PPR, the first 3.
Yeah, PPR the first 3. Here's the other one. Pick 2. Swift, Hollywood, Henderson, Odunze, Waddle.
I'm going to go, I assume also PPR, I'm going to go Hollywood and Odunze.
Hollywood and Odunze sounds good, assuming this is PPR as well. All right, now we got Ken. Pickens, Jacoby, Tet. Got to start 2.
I like them all. I think I'm going to bench Tet. I feel like I've said no to Tet a lot, but it's not because I'm out on Tet. It's because you guys just have other options I like. I just think Pickens has a ton of upside this week. I like Jacoby enough. I like Tet, but I'm going to bench Tet out of these options.
Yeah, agree. Tet's going to be a stud some weeks. Don't know if this is the week. All right, now we have short season. Breece Hall or Marion Hampton?
Breece.
Yeah, Hampton still a good option, but I think Breece is better. Hampton, we got to wait and see exactly how efficient he's going to be. All right, another one from the Map Squad, 1914. Need a flex. Pick 1, Monty or Pearsall.
Assuming it's PPR, Pearsall. If it's complete non-PPR, I'll go Monty.
Right. If it's any sort of PPR, I think you got to stick with Pearsall here. All right, let's see here. What is a Python? Just wishing everybody luck, unless you're playing against him. Yeah. We already did the 3 quarterback thing earlier this week, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to the next super chat. Is Arthur Swanson.
Yes.
All right. So we just talked about Tootin as a stash. Too spicy, too soon? Yes. Over Jennings,
Yes.
Olave, or Booty? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably go Booty against the Dolphins, but I would even go Olave over Tootin.
Jennings is a no. I mean, he's officially questionable, right?
Yeah, what are the chances he even plays?
He hasn't practiced. I'm not starting Jennings. I mean, I would put Tootin over Jennings because I just don't feel like Jennings is going to play. And if he does, he wouldn't do much. I would go Olave or Booty. Probably go Booty this week. Yeah, too soon. Keep him. Hold him. Don't play him yet. All right, so Python actually does have a question here. We have to sit either Ridley, Buka, or Swift.
I think I'm sitting Swift.
Yeah. It's close. Could consider Swift in PPR because he does catch passes, but I think go those receivers. And then Hunter Henry or Evan Engram.
Henry.
Yeah, I'm going to go Henry. All right, there we go. Some people, this is a good time to stop and ask to Christopher Sowers and a lot of people asking about Bowers. Any news on Brock Bowers that we know of? Anything breaking today?
Yeah, the thing is, they're Raiders, they're West Coast team. They practice later in the day. We probably won't know until later today if he practices or not.
Yeah, so just have a backup plan of some sort. And Michael Mayer is not the worst if you want to wait and see. I would prefer one of those other. There's so many good tight end options out there on waivers. You see a lot of these teams. A lot of people didn't use their waiver claim on a tight end, which is surprising to me that you still have guys like Juwan Johnson just floating. A Kyle Pitts still out there. I mean, teams lost George Kittle. Teams might be without Brock Bowers. Njoku didn't do much. So I'm kind of surprised that there are still so many good options for a lot of these leagues. I guess people already had. Maybe these teams drafted 2 tight ends. Okay. Next is Bandeezy. Tet. Pearsall. Looks like Keenan. Got Hampton in the flex. Might want to swap him out.
Yeah, I could go. I mean, I could go any three of these wide receivers. I think I'd probably go Pearsall, Allen. Again, I keep saying no to Tet, but it's not like I like Tet this week, but you guys have such good options that it's like, well, you don't really need to put Tet in there. I go Pearsall, Allen in full PPR.
Agree. Not down, not out, definitely not down. I mean, you were talking up Ted all off season. I mean, he's going to be a stud. Just these things take time. Same thing with Hampton. And again, not out on rookies, but look, just we have to be real. Bill, sure, he could be it. He hasn't done a whole lot the first 2 weeks. It's going to take time. Ashton Genty, absolute stud, first round running back. Didn't do a whole lot his first week. Hampton had the backfield to himself last week. Didn't do a whole lot. Like, the rookies are still learning how to play NFL football, right? So, yeah, I go Pearsall. Like Victor Lara kind of summed it up here. See, no Kittle, no Jennings now, no Ayuk. Mac Jones is decent enough. That's a perfect way to put it. He's decent enough. All right, welcome back, Texas Pete. What's up? Okay. Trading Taylor for Drake. You already got, let's see, Gibbs, Connor, Evans, Sutton, Rayleigh, Ricky, Tillman, and was offered Sharps for Ingram.
I mean, yeah, take Charbonnet. You got Strange and Jonnu on the bench. I'm fine taking Charbonnet for Ingram. That's fine. Yeah, Taylor for Drake. I mean, I prefer Drake London, but now your running backs.
Gibbs and Connor, but who else? Like nobody. Charbonnet would be your RB3.
Gibbs, Connor, Charbonnet, which, I mean, Charbonnet might not be the guy. Connor might be losing touches to Trey Benson. I mean, as much as I want to get Drake London here and I prefer him to Jonathan Taylor, I mean, I think you need Jonathan Taylor a little more than you need Drake London. I mean, your wide receivers aren't stacked, but you got enough of them with Evan Sutton, Pearsall, Ridley, Tillman, like you're fine there. So I think for your team, JT makes more sense.
Yeah, it's tough because he is all over Drake London as a league winner and all that. JT just so solid at running back. It's a little harder, right? Harder to replace a stud running back. And
all right, we just got news. Brock Bowers is practicing today.
Like full participant.
Well, we won't know if he's full until the practice is over, but he's at least out there practicing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if this means go out and like drop whatever your backup tight end is just yet if you needed one, but if you have Bowers, you got to feel good. At least at this point, you could say, okay, if you have Bowers, just keep him in your lineup, and if something changes last minute, you can pivot to Michael Mayer. Is that what you would do?
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, Michael Mayer's good enough. He's going to be involved. I mean, he was involved already more than people really wanted to see last week. Remember, everyone was freaking out in the first half before the injury. Yep. First half, people were like, Brock Bowers is barely out there. Like, he's not on the field. Yep. All right. Yes, finishing on this one, Texas Pete. Like, I get it. You don't have necessarily a, I hate to, like, no disrespect to Evans. Evans still stud, but like that elite receiver, right? But your receiver room is deep enough. You could start any of those guys and still be fine. I think you got to prefer Taylor here. But you can do Sharps for Ingram. Totally fine.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I see. Somebody said Brock is practicing. Okay. Juan Salgado, do this real quick. Ferguson or Strange?
Strange. Yeah, Strange.
All right. And we're actually, I think, pretty much caught up to the super chat. So I'm going to start to do some of these regular comments as well. Try to find some from players we haven't talked a whole lot about, aka nothing with Ricky Pearsall. How about? Yeah, I'm trying. This is an interesting trade. Nick Lusby traded Nico and Njoku for BTJ and Warren. Is that a win?
I think it's a win. I mean, Nico and BTJ shouldn't be drastically different unless, Nico's the wide receiver 1 and BTJ struggles at Jags. But you got to think they should be fairly close enough. But you're getting a major tight end upgrade here with Tyler Warren. So I would take the BTJ Warren side.
Yeah, I think that's a win. I mean, I do prefer Nico. I'm not pushing the panic button on BTJ just yet. Just because Shane Waldron is there and the coaching staff. He's not the guy calling the plays. All right.
Right.
I think BTJ will be fine, even without Mac Jones. So I still think this is a win because you got Tyler Warren. All right. Let's see. Okay. It's a good question. Open-ended question. We don't get a lot of those. Short season. What's the best time to trade for an IR player like Kittle?
Yeah, I would say, the best time is right when they get hurt, if you can afford to, because that's when their value is going to be the lowest. The closer we get to them coming back, the more people are like, well, I can probably hold on to this guy for another week or two. But again, it's also the trading for him right when they go on IR is also the riskiest time because maybe they're on IR longer than we think. What if he's on IR 6 weeks, 7 weeks? You know what I mean? Like for a player like Kittle, I would trade for Kittle. If I could get Kittle right now, I would take Kittle right now. Because this isn't like a player like, I don't know, like a player that we don't know what their potential is, like, right? We know Kittle's a stud tight end. Like if he's healthy, he's a stud tight end. So player like Kittle, I would be more than happy trading for right now. Players that are a little more, in questionable situations, I want to wait closer to what I feel like, okay, they might be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and if let's say it's a player like which should be for Kittle, it's like 4 weeks, right? You're on IR 4 weeks. Could be longer, of course, but let's just assume it's 4 weeks. I like to try to target that midpoint. I don't want to trade for a guy who just went on IR because you're basically saying whatever I'm giving up, I'm good without it and without that spot. Okay, so like Kittle's going to help me at tight end. That means you're committing to a month at least of waiting and not having any benefit from that trade, I just don't think it's necessary. Why not wait another week or two? Because you still be able to get that same injury discount, So I would like to wait, like, let's say 2 weeks in. That guy who's been holding Kittle on IR, he's like, okay, this guy's still hurt, Maybe he's feeling desperate because he's not happy with whatever he's got. Who knows? But if you wait too late, right, it's like a week before he's coming back, well, guess what? Then that guy's going to say, well, why would I trade him now? He's about to come back. So try to find that sweet spot in the middle, but it also depends on what you're giving up. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Matthew Sino, would you trade Ladd and Waddle for BTJ?
No.
That's too much, or you're like okay with this?
No, I think I'm fine. Like, I don't know if I didn't really have BTJ that much higher over Ladd anyways, so I think I would just keep Ladd and Waddle, honestly.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's too soon to say like Waddle's just like a throw-in or like whatever. Like you can't give up on him for the whole season. But at this point, I'm just looking at who do I prefer, Ladd or BTJ. And yeah, I don't think you need to do this exactly. I don't think there's a big difference between these guys. Now, if you were like Ladd and Waddle for CeeDee Lamb, yeah, I'm doing it to get CeeDee Lamb. Yeah. That's a little different. But no, well, I don't think so. Because I don't think you're really buying low here, Like if you were going to give DJ Moore and Jalen Waddle for BTJ, okay, I would do that, right? You would do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Not saying they'll go for it, but that might be like a way to buy low on BTJ. I doubt anybody's selling low on BTJ just because he had a bad week 1. He even scored. Actually, it wasn't even that bad, right?
Yeah, but it was a jet sweep rushing touchdown near the goal line. I don't think it was one catch for 11 yards. It was pretty bad.
All right. Well, yeah, it was a bad performance. It wasn't. a total goose egg for fantasy, I guess is what I should say.
Yeah, because he got bailed out by a jet
bailed
sweep
out.
near the goal line. But
Yeah.
I mean, if that's his path to fantasy production, we're in trouble.
Oh yeah, but I doubt anybody who drafted BTJ is panicking just because of 1 week.
Right. No.
Although, some people are.
Some people are for sure.
How about Dirty Kurt? Start 2, Mason Dobbins, Ridley, J-Mo, Pearsall. This is half PPR.
I'm still going Ridley and Pearsall here.
Yeah, I don't think any of those running backs make the cut, even just because it's half. If it was non, that would be different. Okay, and then let's see. Don't know. I didn't see this. Probably just hearsay that Jennings would get traded to the Chiefs. I don't see this happening.
Yeah, I feel like everybody gets linked to the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is probably what ChiefsChop.com or something like that. They just want everyone to get traded there. I don't know. What's up, Don? Welcome back, Don GW. Has Brock Bowers thinking I'll bench him? He had Njoku and Fannin.
I mean, he's practicing today, so you might want to wait a little bit, Don.
And just ask you this: if let's say we do find out for some reason, like, oh, he had a setback in practice, or I don't feel he's good. I mean, would you go Njoku? Would you go Fannin, or would you rather have Michael Mayer?
I might just rather have Michael Mayer, to be honest.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like maybe you don't even want those guys anyways. I think this is a fair question. Hold on, before we get to the next super chat. This is not fantasy, but we've talked about this. I've mentioned this many times. Who goes first? I'm telling you, I feel like neither of these guys make it through midway of the season. Brian Daboll or Mike McDaniel. Who do you think gets first?
I think Mike McDaniel gets canned first because I just think there's so much more expectations for the Dolphins and the Giants. It's like, I don't think the Giants came into the season thinking we're a legitimate contender yet. I know every team thinks they're a contender, but let's be real here. Like, I feel like there's just way more expectations for the Dolphins than the Giants. So I think it's going to be McDaniel. And the fact that the team already has a player-only meeting in week 2, like, look, Mike McDaniel is super smart. Mike McDaniel is a great offense coordinator. Mike McDaniel is not a leader of men. Mike McDaniel should not be a head coach. All right, he should be scheming up an incredible offense. He's great at it. This does not come off as a guy that I'm going to be like, let's go rally around our coach and get this win. It's more like, let's go have a beer with our coach. Like, it's not who I want as my coach.
Yeah, it's a little too, what they call him, the player's coach.
Yeah,
there's a place. There's a line, right? There's a line that has to be drawn at some point. I don't think he has that line.
I feel like Pete Carroll is a player's coach, but he's also a player's coach who knows how to lead and people want to go play hard for and try to win for. Like, right, Pete Carroll's not like an in your face, like, you sucked, go run, you know what I mean? Like, he's not like a Bill Parcells type of guy. But I feel like people still want to, like, Mike McDaniel just feels way too chill and cerebral, which is not a bad thing when you're an offensive coordinator to be a head coach.
He will make a very good offense coordinator for some other team next year.
Whatever team he goes to as the OC, we gotta pump up all their fantasy players.
Yeah, absolutely right. And it's funny, the meme I saw, I don't remember who posted it. The 3 biggest red flags for a team. Number 1, the players only meeting. Number 2, adding a ping pong table to the locker room. Number 3, removing the ping pong table from the locker room. Yeah, they've probably already done all that.
Well, they already had a players only meeting at the start of week 2 is like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Oh man, we shouldn't need to go there. All right, Ryan, QJ or probably that's got to be Jameson Williams because it's a wide receiver question. Quentin Johnston's already up to wide receiver 2 status.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jameson here.
It's a good matchup for QJ, and don't love Jameson Williams, but really, I feel like this is a little too far, right?
Yeah, a little too far.
All right, back to Texas Pete. Etienne, JMO, Sharbs, Myers. Is this like a massive trade, like a platter offer here?
So wait, so this is Etienne, Jameson Williams, Zach Charbonnet, and Jacoby Myers for Gibbs.
Or I guess, okay, option 2, Connor for JSN. What?
I mean, I will happily take JSN for Connor. Like, give me that all day. This first trade, I don't know. I mean,
it's a lot. I mean, I Gibbs is a stud. None of these guys are like first round picks, but still, I need to process this. Okay, Etienne, JMO, and Myers. I want to make sure this is what this is, because when you're like the 4 or, it's like, okay, I don't know if I'm getting it right, but I feel like the or makes it like 2 separate trades, right?
Yes, that's how I'm reading. I'm reading it. I will say, if like Etienne, Jameson Williams, Charbonnet, and like if this is a very shallow league, and these guys are all on your bench, and you have like just way better players in your starting lineup, like to where these guys are rarely going to crack your lineup, I might take Gibbs here. But this is definitely feels like an overpay for Gibbs. But I mean, actually, maybe it's not. Oh, yeah, it probably is an overpay for Gibbs, because it's like, I mean, Charbonnet, okay, that could go either way. He almost feels like a throw in here. But Etienne, Jameson Williams, and Myers for Gibbs definitely feels like an overpay right now. But again, if you're in a league where like you only start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex, and it's like an 8-man league, maybe I'll just take Gibbs here, because like Myers may never crack your lineup. Etienne may never crack your lineup.
If we got it right, if this is the 4-for-1 thing, and this comes down to Etienne, right? Because Etienne is a stud this year, then it's an overpay. I think if he's good but not great, I think this is doable. But just Connor for JSN. If you're getting JSN for Connor, do it. Absolutely right now.
Yeah, that's a must. That's a must.
All right. Alex Sanchez needs 3. Pickens, Pierce, Altet, Ridley, Hollywood, Ibuka. Like the exact same group.
Alex, did you do this just to mess with us? Like you heard us talk? Like this is that exact group. Oh, I think you got to go Hollywood here. Oh my gosh! Like, how do you need 3 of these guys? Like, are these all your wide receivers? Like, you don't have like a no doubter that you just have in your lineup that we can just say, yeah, he's in your lineup no matter what. Like, Hollywood. I'd probably go Hollywood, Pearsall, like Buka. But my goodness, you could talk me into any of these guys.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like this list was just kind of like culled from all the questions and put together in one. Like, how is this your exact receiver room? I guess I'll still put, even though he's right there with everybody else, I'll still put Tet last here. For me personally, I'll put Ridley a little bit lower. I feel like Hollywood, Pearsall are my 2 favorites. Pickens, Ibuka, whichever one you said, I'll go with that one. Ibuka, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my gosh, like this Spider-Man meme on all these guys.
Yeah. All right. Talk about a cameo. Got to give a quick shout out to Roberto, who is here and gone. Hey.
All right, what's up? Goodbye.
See ya. Good luck. Unless you're playing us. All right. Royland wants to know, it's the time to drop the booty or Bateman or Tootin. I could drop Bateman.
I'll drop Bateman for Tootin. Not booty. Not booty.
Nah, Bateman, fine, but not a must keep. Again, just because he scored a touchdown doesn't mean D-Hop is all of a sudden like the number 2 here. But D-Hop is there, and he's going to be at least a factor. And Zay Flowers is really good. And yeah, you can drop it. And you're really saying your depth is solid. All right, Raymond Cerna. Start at the flex. T-Mac, Diggs, QJ, or Pittman?
Well, I can finally say yes to T-Mac. Thank goodness. T-Mac.
Yeah, finally, because I don't think Diggs is a bad choice, but I think T-Mac still has more upside here, especially that we've seen it could be a big Hunter Henry week. Booty has definitely started to take on a big role here. So I don't mind Diggs. QJ has some upside. Definitely not Pittman. Let's go T-Mac. All right, short season now. In PPR, Harrison or Hampton?
It's got to be Harrison. Just way more upside. When is it okay
Especially
to flex running back over wide receiver? When the wide receiver is much worse than the running back. Or, sometimes I might, if it's close and maybe like my opponent already started somebody who absolutely busted, or maybe they started Jaden Reed, got you a nice 0 this week, although that was because of injury. Then maybe if it's close, I might take the running back because typically running backs have a safer floor than wide receivers. But that's really it.
Yeah, you can't just kind of blanket answer that question. It really depends on a lot of things.
Right.
Again, you can't just say, well, he's a receiver in PPR, you have to start him. It always depends. But in this case, it's not just because of the position. Just Hampton still going to get the vast majority of the touches. I mean, I don't know. Is Najee even going to get more than 1 carry this week? What does he get? Like 3 or 4? Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, maybe like 5.
Maybe
not
5.
enough. Not
Okay.
enough to matter, though.
It's not a good defense they're facing, but is Hampton ready to have a big game yet? Is he going to? I just don't think so. Harrison, I mean, you saw what Harrison did last week. There's no reason not to start Harrison, really, unless you happen to be absolutely loaded at receiver. So it's just no reason to flex him here. All right, and then we're definitely caught up here. Let's just do a couple more. How about Francisco Rivera? Drop downs for Caleb Johnson. I mean, both these guys are droppable. Who would you rather have stashed?
I'd rather have Downs is at least on the field. Give me Downs.
Yeah, this is. I mean, look on the one here, like I have Jefferson, Wilson, Debo, Buka. Yeah, you don't need Josh Downs. You're not going to start Josh Downs. But then, like you said, what are you doing with Caleb Johnson? I mean, purely a stash. He's just going to sit on your bench. I think it's just too soon. It's too soon here, right, for Caleb Johnson. He's probably going to do what this week? Absolutely nothing. Next week, What's he probably going to do? Close to nothing. I think he could probably just wait another week or two and then stash Caleb Johnson. Hambone. Dudes. Dak or Baker?
I still go Baker. I just really don't have a reason to I don't have a compelling reason to bench Baker. I know it's the Texans, but they're still gonna throw the ball plenty. He's got weapons. I don't have a reason to bench Baker.
Yeah, I don't feel like either of these guys are due for huge games. Go Baker. Baker runs more than Dak also. It's a little edge, right? He can always get you something on the ground, score. He likes to take it himself sometimes near the goal line. All right, then let's see if we can possibly find some. No, Iceman. Okay, fine. Let's see. Well, I was like, no, I see Pearsall in there, but then you forced my hand with a super sticker. All right, needs 2 and a flex. Here we go. Collins. Okay, that's a yes. Pearsall, Tyreek, Hollywood, and JMO.
Collins, Pearsall, and Hollywood are my picks.
Yeah, that actually turned out a little bit easier. Come on. The Tyreek Hill situation, honestly, what is the upside here? What better chance Tyreek Hill has a 100-yard game or gets suspended in the next 24 hours? What?
I mean, 100-yard game because I don't think he's getting suspended. I think the suspension is like 0% chance. So I'll give better chance of a 100-yard game. But
there's new allegations again.
I know, but in the next 24 hours, like they'd have to suspend him tonight because they're not going to suspend him like right before kickoff. I will say, if there's any hope for Tyreek Hill this week, Christian Gonzalez out again. The Patriots do not run a lot of cover 2. They run a lot of cover 1, which is better for the Dolphins. But when you look at it last year against in the 2 games against the Dolphins, they did run a very high amount of cover 2. So I'm trying to make a compelling case for Tyreek. It's not easy, but I'm trying to.
Well, the good news here for Mark is you don't need to worry about it. You can go Collins, Pearsall, and Hollywood. And then, all right, we already did, but here we go. He's giving us a gimme. You want to pick T-Mac. Would you go T-Mac over Smith and Olave?
Yes.
Now, Baker over Fields all year? I don't think it's that easy.
I'm pretty sure I'm going Fields over Baker all year.
Wow. Well, there you go. This week, I go Fields over Baker.
Yep.
All right. One we definitely haven't had a whole lot of. Pedro, Aaron Jones, or Jaylen Warren?
Steelers get to see. That is a tough matchup. I'll go Aaron Jones. Barely.
I mean, these guys feel like at this point, are they almost kind of the same guy? Sort of. Depend on.
I still feel like Aaron Jones has more juice than Jaylen Warren, though.
Yeah. I'd say objectively in a better offense, despite what the Steelers did last week. But they both kind of depend on pass catching. They're more floor than ceiling. You really want a touchdown here. Similar. I feel like very similar. Go Jones for now. How about offthewallcleaning.com? All right. Herbert. Collins, Higgins, Tet, Smith, Odunze, Genty, Pollard, Hampton, Mason, Kraft. We need 2, 2, and 1 flex.
All right. Collins, Higgins at wide receiver. I think I go Genty, Hampton this week. I go Hampton over Pollard. And then Odunze, Tet, Odunze. I'd probably go Odunze.
Yeah, it's again all pretty close. There are some weeks where you go Smith, a tougher matchup. I'm still feeling Bears might have to throw a lot. Good with Odunze. And you had Kraft. Feels pretty good to start at least going into the week with that, especially tight end. The way things are going. Okay, it's an interesting trade question. Divine Solutions Estates. Jordan Mason and Keon Coleman for Ted McMillan and Bill.
Yeah, I'm going to take Ted and Bill here.
Easily.
Ted and Bill.
Like, easily. I would do it just for Ted. Getting Bill too? That's kind of shocking. All right, let's end on this. Definitely have not had these two guys in the question. Unemployed. Gino or T-Law?
Kind of like Gino this week. I might go Gino.
I feel better now that Bowers is out there, right? So that just helps. T-Law does have that matchup, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Gino. It's just never going to be sold completely on T-Law. All right. Let's go ahead and call it because we've been caught up here and we're going to be back tomorrow morning. So don't worry. If you still got questions and you need some updates, we're going to give you all the latest injury updates tomorrow. Start 3 hours before the games. And so make sure you got your notifications are. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that first and then turn on notifications and give us a thumbs up. If you give us a like, that helps. And of course, download Draft Lane if you haven't yet. Got the QR codes up there for you so you can figure out how to get it from the App Store or the Play Store. It's completely free to download. If you're on Yahoo or Sleeper and you play fantasy football on those platforms, you can sync your leagues. And when you ask your questions, whether it's a start sit, waiver wire, trade, whatever, we can see your roster. We can see your bench. We can see your waivers. If you ask a trade question, we can see your league mates. You can see everything in there. And so it's a really cool way for us to really dive in there and give you that personalized feedback. So try it out, because still, if you're new for the first time signing up on Draft Lane, use code ENDGAME, you get 10 free credits. So your first couple of questions are free anyways. All right. So ask away. We'll answer those questions all through the evening. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be back on here for the stream. Get ready for week 2. Don't forget all the videos that have been dropping every single day. If you missed any of them, now is a perfect chance to go ahead and catch them. Everything you need to win in week 2. Thank you, everybody, for being on here. And hopefully we'll see you all back tomorrow morning.